Need money now? Get a Choice Pawn loan on things you already own, like guns, boats, campers, trailers, recreational vehicles, and just about everything else. Get a loan from Choice Pawn in Fulton and Tupelo. Get cash today. ChoicePawn.com.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being presented by the ICC Alumni Association, the Bank of Okolona, the ICC BSU, Choice Pawn with locations in Tupelo and Fulton, Buddy Long and the Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, Food Giant, the ICC Foundation, your Etowah County Farm Bureau agent Joey Cox, Little Caesars, Renaissance Bank, Sonic, and the ICC Wesley Foundation.
What if Mississippi's community and junior colleges didn't exist? You'd see a much different Mississippi, one without these degrees. And the jobs that come from them. One where many would fail to get a higher education because affordable community and junior college is their only hope. We're in danger of this happening thanks to state budget cuts. In fact, Mississippi once ranked number 1 in America's community and junior college systems. Number 1. But now has slipped out of the top 10, way out, which is already a consequence of budget cuts. So, what if community and junior colleges didn't exist? If budget cuts continue, we may well find out. Contact your legislator and tell them to support Mississippi's community and junior colleges.
Best tailgate, brisket.
No, real football y pollo asado.
Hoops and wings. Burgers.
7-layer dip.
Hummus.
What?
You need a hot grill.
And an ice-cold Coke.
It's got to be cold.
It's Tailgating 101.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We get set for Game 2 between ICC and Des Moines area. If you're just now joining us, Des Moines was able to pick up a 2-1 win in the first game of the day. Let's take a look at today's Coca-Cola starting lineups, and let's start with the Bears of Des Moines area. They come into the game 8-0 after picking up the first win of the day. Avery Guy will be leading things off. She'll be batting first, playing shortstop. Maya Ruther will be the second baseman. Bree Hunter will be batting third, playing in left field. Morgan Neely will be batting fourth, and the DP, Bailey Richardson, will be catching, batting fifth. Keisha Wells will be the right fielder. She'll be batting sixth. Gabby Schnatters is the pitching here in Game 2. She'll be batting seventh. Taylor Briley will be at first base. She'll be batting eighth, and Kelsey Hora will be batting ninth, playing in center field. The flex will be Ellie Dixon, the second baseman. In the circle for Game 2 here for the Indians is going to be Olivia Burns. So Burns will lead things off here. We'll go over the Indians starters between innings.
Leading off in the Lady Bears, shortstop Avery Guy.
So Guy will stand in and take that first pitch for a strike. This is number 2 Des Moines area taking on number 11 ICC here in Game 2. Both teams stepping out of division play here over spring break. Foul ball. 0-2 now goes the count here on Avery Guy. Well, we had a pitcher's duel in Game 1. It was a heck of a game. It actually eventually came down to a 2-out error that proved to be the difference in the game that ICC dropped 2-1 in the first game of the day. That pitch missing for ball. The Renaissance Bank opening pitch for Game 2 started at 5:27. A 5:27 start time here in Game 2. That pitch missing outside for a ball. 2-2 now goes the count here on Avery Guy. ICC 17-4 after that Game 1 loss, trying to rebound here to earn a split with the unbeaten Bears of Des Moines area. That pitch missing outside. 3-2 now goes the count. So Guy trying to start the game off in a positive note for the Bears. There's a line and grab over at third. That's Bailey Springfield. to get the first out of the game.
Second baseman number 12, Mia Ruther.
And now up is going to be Mia Ruther, the second baseman for the Bears. And the first pitch, kind of held on to it too long that time, did Olivia, as it floats high for a ball. 1-0 now is the count. Sun continuing to set here in Fulton, daylight savings time, so we've had to adjust, kind of getting used to the sun here. That's a beautiful pitch across for a strike. 1-1 now goes the count here on Ruther, the second baseman. We're in the top of the first. There's one out and nobody on here for the Bears. Pitch coming. This one lifted and over the head of the right fielder. They're going to try to get it to the third, and it's going to be a triple. So Ruther that time just got it over the head quickly out in right field. And that's going to be a triple to start things off here, with one out. And now it's going to be Bree Hunter. Well, that time the ball just got off the bat in a hurry.
Number 2, Bree Hunter.
Meg Sullivan was going back for it, and I think it carried a little bit further than she was anticipating. As the ball got over her head to the fence. Not sure what the umpire was just showing there. But either way it goes, there's a runner on third with one out. That pitch missing low for a ball. So the Indians running into a little bit of trouble here in the first after a one-out triple by Maya Ruther. Boy, she's got speed to burn and showed it on the bases there. That pitch in the dirt gets away, and that's going to allow the run to score from third. So Ruther will come across on the wild pitch, and 1-0. Quickly, Des Moines takes the lead. Well, Ruther that time did not hesitate on getting home, and she got home in a hurry there as the ball in the dirt got away. Wild pitch allows the run to score 1-0. Des Moines jumping out on the board here early. Changeup hangs up for a ball. 3-0 now is the count. So Burns just needs to settle down here. Looks to be a little bit rattled after giving up that triple to Ruther. This is a left fielder, Hunter, at the plate. And she draws the walk. 4 straight pitches, and that's going to be a walk. And now up is going to be Morgan Neely. Right now, if you're ICC, you may want to come talk to your pitcher. Say, hey, listen, those type things happen. Got to get back in your game here. This is going to be Morgan Neely, the number 4 batter, the DP at the plate with one out and a runner on first. Change up, and it's a beauty. Wow, where did that one miss? Good looking pitch there from Burns. Caught a ball. Guess it was a little too low for his liking. I don't know. That pitch high and outside. Nice job that time by Conley to extend and catch that one. 2-0 now is the count, and Conley wants to go out and talk to her pitcher. Let's take a look at the defensive lineup here for the Indians. In the top of the first, in the circle, Olivia Burns. Behind the plate, Sam Conley. Third base, that's Bailey Springfield. Shortstop, Rachel Sternisha. Over at second, Madison Carnes. First is Mackenzie Piper. Outfield looks like this. Hannah Williams, and left center fielder is Corey Childs. And out in right field is Meg Sullivan. So 2-0 is the count. This pitch popped up. Williams camping underneath it. Will get it for out number 2. Well, good job by Conley to come out and settle down her freshman pitcher to get the second out of the inning. And now up is going to be Bailey Richards, the catcher.
Number 4, Bailey Richards.
So Richards trying to spark a 2-out rally. There is a runner on first. Maya Ruther tripled to right, scored on a wild pitch. 1-0 is your score. Pitch in the dirt, blocked up nicely that time by Conley. Well, Conley has been impressive behind the plate in game 1 so far here early. The same here in game 2. Tried to block up the one pitch that got away from her, but it took a hard hop off the plate. That pitch across for a strike. Even the count now at 1-1. So 1-1 is the count. Here to Richard, the catcher. That pitch inside for a ball. 2-1 now. Goes the count. So 2-1 is the count. ICC trying to get out of this inning with minimum damage done. That pitch missing low and outside. 3-1 goes the count. So Burns struggling a little bit to locate here in the first after being rattled a little bit by a triple. And there's a strike. Taking the whole way that time was Richards. Burns is 8-2 on the year. She has a 2.93 ERA. So the 3-2 pitch coming. Ground ball. And it's a foul ball. Ooh, break there for the Indians as Springfield's going to let that one roll for a second, and it just happened to take a hop just before it got to the bag in foul territory. So we'll stay at 3-2 now with 2 outs and a runner on first here in the top of the first. 1-0 Des Moines area with the lead. Pitch coming. Oh, it was a beauty, but just a little too low for the umpire's liking. And that's a 2-out walk issued to Richards. And now here comes trouble in the form of Keisha Wells. She had that solo home run.
Number 7, Keisha Wells.
A no-doubter. As we talked about it, her slugging percentage at 1.375 coming into this series. Change up. That's the pitch she parked out in left center last time. Behind that one for a strike. Want to exchange balls here. Saw the Mississippi State coaching staff here earlier for game 1. 0-1 is the count with 2 outs. This pitch popped up, and Burns is going to come underneath it to get the put out to end the inning. So the Indians get out of the inning with minimum damage done. 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left on base in the top half of the first. ICC going to have to try to find a way to get some runs back here in the bottom half. Let's take a look at today's Coca-Cola starting lineup for the Indians. As it's going to be Corey Childs leading things off, playing in center field. Meg Sullivan batting second, playing in right field. Sam Conley is going to be catching, batting third. At first base is Mackenzie Piper. She'll be batting fourth. Batting fifth will be the DP, Macy Cox. Batting sixth will be the third baseman, Bailey Springfield. Batting seventh will be the left fielder, Hannah Williams. Batting eighth will be the pitcher, Olivia Burns. And batting ninth will be second baseman, Madison Carnes. In the flex position, playing shortstop, will be Rachel Sternisha. That is your Coca-Cola lineup, starting lineup here in game 2 for the 17-4 Indians. Inside the circle for Des Moines area will be Gabby Schnatters. Schnatters is 1-0 on the year. She has a .78 ERA. So, man, you take a look at it. The first pitcher of the day was Jacobson. She came in with a sparkling or a perfect ERA. Gave up her first earned run of the season. So these two pitchers not really given a whole lot of opportunities for opposing teams to make anything happen. So Corey Childs will lead things off here for the Indians to start game 2. She was 0 for 3 in the first game of the day. Corey trying to start things off on the right foot here in game 2. So waiting the pitch here from Schnatter. Pitch missing on that outside corner for a ball. Borderline pitch not going the way of the Bears on that one. 1-0 is the count here to Childs. That pitch, carbon copy of the last one, called a strike. So 1-1 now is the count here on Corey Childs. Schnatters inside the circle with a 1-1 count. She's 1-0 on the year. That pitch in the dirt. Blocked up by the catcher. Actually kind of popped up and caught her on the thigh that time as it rolled back into the infield. I'll give her a second to kind of collect herself. 2-1 now is the count here to Corey Childs. Corey swings and misses that one late on the fastball. 2-2 now is the count here to Corey Childs. 1-0 is your score after a triple by Ruther in the top half of the inning. Childs pops this one up, and it's going to drop for a base hit. Bobbled around out there in the outfield. Childs makes a big turn, but will head back. So Corey with a single to start things off there for the Indians.
Right fielder, number 15.
So we take a look at that on the Little Caesars replay here. So that one just got out to left, and the left fielder kind of bobbled it around for a second. Corey was halfway to second, but good job getting back that time in enough time. And now up is going to be Meg Sullivan. So Sullivan will dig in with no outs and a runner on first. ICC trying to spark something here in the bottom half of the inning. Runner goes. Corey Childs is safe by a mile. She's quick as a hiccup. Steals her 20th base of the season. So now moves into scoring position. Sullivan fouls that one off. 1-1 now is the count with no outs. Meg playing in right field just kind of got jammed up on that triple by Maya Ruther in the top half of the inning. The ball jumped off the bat a lot quicker than she was anticipating. Got over her head. Then Ruther came around to score on a wild pitch. 1-0. That is your Sonic scoring update. Sullivan pops this one up a mile high, deep down the left field line, and out of play. So 1-2 now is the count. Boy, if she can straighten that one out, it had a chance to get out of the ballpark. But instead goes for a long strike. 1-2 now is the count here on Sullivan. 1-0 is your score. Indians trying to strike back here in the bottom of the first. There's a flare to the first baseman off her glove. Gonna have to hurry. But a good job by the second baseman playing her position that time. 4-3 on the putout on a hard line drive to the first baseman. Almost works as if it was like a sacrifice bunt to push the runner over to third. So now Sam Conley will come to the plate. The sun sticking behind the clouds for a second. Not a very cloudy day, a pleasant day here in Fulton to play two. This top 15 matchup between the number 11 ICC Indians and number 2 Des Moines area Bears out of Iowa. Conley takes that first pitch high for a ball. Well, Corey's got plenty of speed, so if something can get away from the catcher here, she could possibly tie the contest. 1-0 is the count to Conley. That pitch high for ball 2. 2-0 now goes the count to the number 3 batter, the catcher here in game 2. Conley, who also caught the first game of the day. Playing a little double duty behind the plate this afternoon. 2-0 pitch coming. Taking the whole way that time. 2-1 now goes the count here on Conley. We do want to remind you that there is rumblings that Sunday's game for ICC at Pearl River could get moved up to Saturday. We'll try to keep you posted on that on Twitter. Bunt laid down, and it's going to score the run. Perfectly executed squeeze play on the sacrifice bunt. The only play they had was to first, and Corey Childs was able to come across to score that one.
Number 18.
1-3 on the putout on the sacrifice bunt. When we talk about the sacrifice, we talk about the ICC Baptist Student Union, and they remind you of the ultimate sacrifice paid for our sins. That's the ICC BSU. They're actually in Alaska right now on a mission trip. 1-1 is your score. That pitch across for a strike here to Mackenzie Piper. There's 2 outs in the inning, and Piper, the first baseman, at the plate. Piper ground ball to the shortstop, gloves it cleanly, throws over, a little low but a nice stretch over there at first by Briley to get the out. But the Indians able to get a run on 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. We've played 1, we're tied at 1. We'll take a break and hear some words from our sponsors and be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com. This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being presented by the ICC Alumni Association, the Bank of Okolona, the ICC BSU, Choice Pond with locations in Tupelo and Fulton, Buddy Long and the Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, Food Giant, the ICC Foundation, your Etowah County Farm Bureau agent Joey Cox, Little Caesars, Renaissance Bank, Sonic, and the ICC Wesley Foundation.
At Food Giant, serving you is our #1 priority. We offer the freshest produce, highest quality meats, tasty baked goods, and the best meats and cheeses in our deli department. At Food Giant, you'll always find a staff member eager to help you find exactly what you need. Freshness, variety, value. Shop Food Giant today with several locations in North Mississippi.
And welcome back now as we move to the top of the 7th inning, where to be the 7, 8, 9 batters due up here for the Bears. Gabby Schnatters, Taylor Briley, and Kelsey Hora all due up here for the Bears. The Bears 8-0 in the year. ICC 7-4. ICC started this week ranked number 11. They did sweep the number 8 team in the country in East Central earlier in the week. They dropped the first game of the day 2-1 to the number 2 team in the country. So a battle there. We've got one brewing here in the second game of the day. 1-1 is your score
18,
after one inning of play, and now up's going to be Abby Schnatters, the pitcher. So Schnatters could really help out her own cause here. She can find a way to get on base to start the second. Olivia Burns still in the circle here for the Indians. No changes defensively for ICC, as this pitch fouls straight back out of play over the top of the ICC Foundation broadcast booth. And we remind you, if you would like to contribute to scholarships or more here at ICC, visit iccms.edu. That's iccms.edu to find out more information on the ICC Foundation. So, foul ball goes for strike one. That pitch on the corner of the plate, just a bit too outside for the umpire's liking. Connolly held on to it for an extra second, trying to get that call. 1-1 now is the count here on Schnatters. She did bat in the first game, was 0 for 1. That pitch right across. 1-2 now is the count here on Schnatters. 1-1 is your score. Schnatters leading off the top of the second. We referred to her as Gabby in game one because we didn't know how to say her name. There's a rip, but foul. Once again, we do want to say a special hello to those that might be watching back in Iowa in support of the Bears this afternoon. A good crowd out for both teams. One to one is your score. 1-2 is the count here on Schnatters. That changeup hung up that time for a ball. 2-2 now goes the count here on the pitcher from Des Moines area. Now, they were scheduled to play number 1 Jones County yesterday, but Mother Nature had other ideas on that one. Ooh, another pretty pitch. Schnatters actually turned around and started heading towards the dugout, thinking that might have been strike 3. But instead, ball 3 now is called. 3-2 is the count here. So a battle between pitchers. Burns trying to find a way to win it here. 3-2 pitch coming. And loses her. Low and inside for a walk. A leadoff walk here to start the second. Two really good-looking pitches. Not finding the corner of the plate.
Number 32, Taylor Briley.
And this is going to be Taylor Briley, the first baseman, coming to the plate. Looks like we're going to have a runner coming in place of the pitcher in this situation. And this is going to be number 24.
Running at first base for the Lady Bears, number 24, Hunter Raymond.
So Hunter Raymond will come in to run in this situation. No outs and a runner on first here. We're in the top of the second of a 1-1 contest in Game 2 between ICC and Des Moines Area Community College. As far as I know, it's the first time these two teams have ever played in the history of the program here at ICC. or at least in my now 9 years, or starting my 9th year here at ICC. Squares the bunt, lays it down, goes to second to get the force. Smart play that time by Burns to get the force out at second. The bunt just took a friendly hop.
Number 6, Kelsey Hora.
Right back to the pitcher. And now up with 1 out and a runner on first is going to be the center fielder, Kelsey Hora. So Hora will dig in, takes that first pitch high for a ball. So that was number 24. Raymond was retired on the bases as she entered to run for Schnatters, the pitcher. The fielder's choice erased her there. Swinging strike. 1-1 now is the count with 1 out and a runner on first. The Indians dropped the first game of the day by the final score of 2-1. A 2-out error back in the 3rd inning loomed large for the Indians in that decision. ICC was able to rally back late, but could not get anything going in the final inning. As that pitch missing low and outside. Good job by Sam Conley, blocking out that one and keeping the runner at first. Remind you, our next broadcast here on the Red Channel will be tomorrow as baseball travels to Southwest Tennessee. If you can't watch it here, you can follow us on Twitter at Let's Go ICC. That pitch missing low and outside for a ball. 3-1 now is the count. See, Burns, you just got to rely on your defense. Put one up there. Looks like she's almost trying to place it a little too much here early on. 3-1 pitch coming. And that one called a strike. A little delay motion on the umpire that time. So now the count goes full, 3-2. Would be a big time right now if Burns could get her first Renaissance Bank strikeout of the game. Pitch coming. Check swing. Fouled off. And 3-2 stays the count with 1 out and a runner on first. Some of the ICC fans trying to lobby to say that she was out of the batter's box when she made contact with the ball. Saw that called a couple of times in game 1 on the Bears. New rule this season. 3-2 pitch. Runner goes. The throw is not in time. And it's not going to be a stolen base anyway. I thought that was strike 3. They said she was able to check her swing. Are they going to appeal it to... He's not going to have an idea because he was watching the runner go. So a break there for Des Moines as she clearly did not check her swing in enough time. So now it's going to be runners on first and second. Take that stolen base off the board for Briley. And now the Indians in a little bit of trouble here. Burns going to go out and we're going to have a conversation between the Coach Kirk in the infield here. We're going to step away and take a break and be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
Quarter-pound junior double cheeseburger with crispy golden tots for just $2.99.
Makes me kind of want to do a double take.
Double the beef.
Double the cheese.
Double the smiles.
Oh, yeah.
For a limited time, get a quarter-pound junior double cheeseburger and tots for just $2.99. This is how you Sonic.
The new extra most bestest pizza from Little Caesars is topped with the most cheese and the most pepperoni for the nation's best price. And now for a secret message.
Surrender to the toppings.
Incredible! Extra most bestest, the most cheese and most pepperoni for just $6.
Pizza, pizza.
And welcome back now after that brief meeting at the mound. Nothing changes for the Indians here. Burns still in the circle. Probably just going to go over defensively how they want to play this situation here. With Avery Guy coming to the plate. Guy lined out to third in her first at bat. Indians would love to see a ground ball back to Springfield in this situation, see if they can turn 2. That changeup hangs up. That changeup hasn't been there for Burns early. Second or third time we've seen her go for that changeup, and it's just floated up a little too high. So 1 out, runners on first and second here for Des Moines area. 1-1 is your score. We're in the top of the second. That pitch high for a strike, or excuse me, for a ball. 2-0 now. Goes the count here on Guy. But right now, I don't know if you're Des Moines, if you just hold the bat until you get 2 strikes called on you. So right now, Burns struggling a little bit early on to find the strike zone. That pitch inside for a ball. So quickly ahead in the count now. 3-0 is Avery Guy. You figure the red light's going to be on here for Avery. So Burns just got to drop back and throw one in the zone here. And she does. 3-1 now is the count. And I don't know if you're still Des Moines, you just keep the red light on. So Guy will dig in. Waiting on the 3-1 offering here. This pitch fouled back. 3-2 now goes the count. So 3 balls, 2 strikes. Nice job by Burns to battle back here. 1 out, runners on first and second. Guy at the plate. And lost her. That pitch inside for a ball. That is the 3rd walk of the afternoon issued by Olivia Burns. So now bases full of Bears here with 1 out. And this is going to be Maya Ruther, who doubled, or excuse me, she's the second baseman. Mia, excuse me. She had a triple, scored on a wild pitch. Looks like we're going to have a pitching change here for the Indians. We're going to take a timeout and come back with more and tell you about today's pitching change right after this, after a word from Choice Pawn.
Need money now? Get a Choice Pawn loan on things you already own, like guns, boats, campers, trailers, recreational vehicles, and just about everything else. Get a loan from Choice Pawn in Fulton and Tupelo. Get cash today. ChoicePawn.com.
And welcome back now as Macy Cox takes over for the Indians here with 1 out and bases loaded after back-to-back walks issued there by Olivia Burns. So Macy will take her warm-up tosses. We'll take a break and hear a few more words from our sponsors and be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being presented by the ICC Alumni Association, the Bank of Okolona, the ICC BSU, Choice Pawn with locations in Tupelo and Fulton, Buddy Long and the Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, Food Giant, the ICC Foundation, your Etowah County Farm Bureau agent Joey Cox, Little Caesars, Renaissance Bank, Sonic, and the ICC Wesley Foundation.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we get set here for the top of the second. Bases full of Bears here as Macy Cox enters to pitch. Take a look at some Sonic stats here on Macy. She's got no wins, no losses. She does have 2 saves and a 1.62 ERA. And Sam was trying to hurry back after the umpire came out to break up the huddle, and he saw that she was trying to fix her helmet. He says, no, take your time, because if you get hurt, that looks bad on me, and that is correct. So a good job by the home plate umpire. I give him a hard time, but having a little bit of fun at that one as well, just trying to get things sparked here. So bases full of Bears. First offering high for a ball from Macy Cox. Macy was the DP, now the pitcher here in game 2. All 3 runners on the bag belong to Olivia Burns. That pitch low and outside for a ball, nicely blocked up that time for Sam Conley. So Macy, right now, if you're the Indians, you want to throw strikes, see if you can trust your defense here to get some outs. 2-0 pitch coming. Fastball across there for a strike. 2-1 now goes the count here to Ruther. Ruther, as we said, tripled out to right field. Scored on a wild pitch. That was the long run of the day for the Bears. Grounder right back to the pitcher. Got the force at home. And so they get the run out. And Ruther will reach on the fielder's choice. 1-2 on the putout for those of you scoring at home. Big out there. That's the second of the inning.
Number 2, Bree Hunter.
So now up is going to be Bree Hunter. She walked, was left stranded in the first. So she will come in to bat here with bases loaded and 2 outs. ICC trying to get out of this inning with no damage done. That pitch across for a strike out of Macy Cox. Bears trying to get the merry-go-round spinning here in the top of the second. 1-1 is your score. Strike 2 is the call. Macy Cox quickly heading the count now, 0-2. Boy, it'd be a big time for Macy's first Renaissance Bank strikeout of the day if she can come up with it here. 0-2 is the count. The pitch coming. Gets away. Runner's going to try to score from third, and she will. Second run of the day that has scored on a wild pitch for the Bears. So now 2-1 is your score after that wild pitch there. Allow Briley to score from third. The runners advanced across the way into scoring position. 2-2 is the count. Pitch coming from Cox. A liner, and it's going to drop. 1 run will score. They're going to ask the runner to score from second. Nope. Going to keep her at third. And so a clutch 2-out hit there from Bree Hunter to drive in the run. And it's now 3-1 in favor of the Bears. Now this is going to be the DP, Morgan Neely, coming to the plate. Neely will dig in with runners on the corners and 2 outs. ICC needing to find that exit here in the top of the second. So Neely will dig in here. Rips the first pitch she sees, a hard hit line drive past the third baseman. And back-to-back RBI singles now, and the bats have fired up here for the Bears with 2 outs in the inning. 4-1 now is the score. Runners at first and second with 2 outs. And this is going to be the catcher, Bailey Richards, who was left-stranded in the first.
Richards.
ICC needs to get out of this inning here, see if they can stop some of the bleeding. 4-1 is your score. Macy Cox set to deliver. That pitch across for a strike. Second pitch. That outside corner just a bit too far. 1-1 now is the count here to Richards. Richards is catching here in game 2. She did draw a walk, was left stranded over at first in the first. Des Moines leading 4-1. That pitch outside for a ball. Just couldn't get her to chase one that time. 2-1 now goes the count here on Richards. The Indians just struggling to fill up the strike zone. 2-1 pitch coming. Swung on and missed for strike 2. Good job by Macy that time. Took a little bit off of it. Way ahead of the pitch that time was Richards. 2-2 now is the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and runners on first and second. Top of the second. A little slow roller. We'll have to hurry. No play. Infield single by Richards. And so now bases loaded once again. ICC just cannot get out of this inning. Kudos to the Bears taking advantage of this opportunity here to get things spinning in the second. And now here comes trouble. Keisha Wells coming to the plate. We'll have a runner coming in this situation as it looks like she will replace the DP Neely at second. Looks like that may be Kayla Jennings. Yes, Kayla Jennings will enter to run for Neely over at second. So Kayla Neely into run.
Runner at second base, Taylor Jennings.
Bases loaded with 2 outs now, and ICC still trying to find a way to get out of this inning. The Bears have pushed across 3 runs. One of those scoring on a wild pitch. Runner at third does belong to Olivia Burns. And back-to-back RBI singles. This pitch popped up. Conley chasing back, and you hear it bounce off the top of the ICC Foundation broadcast booth. For more information on the ICC Foundation, you can scroll to the bottom of the ICC Athletics page, letsgoicc.com. So that foul ball goes for strike one. Wells did have that no-doubter home run back in game one. That pitch up just a little bit for a ball. 1-1 now is the count. Well, this strike zone about the size of a shoebox right now, and the Indians just cannot find it. 1-1 is the count to Wells. Wells pops this one up. Right fielder going to have to hurry. Instead, it's Madison Carnes making the diving catch to end the inning there. And the Indians finally get out of the inning. Good effort over there at second by Madison as she fell to the ground. Second time Wells has been retired to end the inning. But they get 3 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and 3 left on base. So the Indians got some work to do here in the bottom of the second. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this on letsgoicctv.com.
What do you want to do for lunch? I'm not going to pay like $7 for a burger combo.
You kids don't know about the raddest Little Caesars lunch combo of all time? 4 slices of deep dish pepperoni pizza and a 20-ounce beverage now for just $4. Here, hold this.
Get a Little Caesars hot and ready lunch combo for the incredible price of just $4 for a limited time.
Pizza, pizza.
Need money now? Get a Choice Pawn loan on things you already own, like guns, boats, campers, trailers, recreational vehicles, and just about everything else. Get a loan from Choice Pawn in Fulton and Tupelo. Get cash today. ChoicePawn.com.
And welcome back now as we move to the bottom of the second inning. ICC trailing 4-1 here in game 2. The Indians dropped the first game of the day by the final score of 2-1 in a pitcher's battle between Jacobson and Springfield. ICC had some chances, just could not find a way to come away with the win there in game 1. For ICC, it'll be the 5, 6, 7 batters due up here. The now pitcher, Macy Cox, then Bailey Springfield, the third baseman, and left fielder Hannah Williams, one of our co-Sonic. Hold on. Try that again. One of our co-Sonic stars of the game was Bailey Springfield and Hannah Williams there in game 1. So Macy Cox, who is now pitching for the Indians, will dig in to try to start things off here for ICC. 4-1 is your score, bottom of the second, game 2. Cox fouls that one off the netting for strike 1. First at bat of the game here for Cox, or here in game 2. Indians got a squeeze play that resulted in a sacrifice bunt by Sam Conley to score Corey Childs, who singled to start the game, stole second, and advanced to third on a ground ball by Meg Sullivan. So 1-1 is the count here to Cox. Awaiting the pitch. Cox couldn't catch up with that one. 1-2 now. Goes the count here to Macy. So the 1-2 pitch coming. Cox fouls this one back out of play. And we'll stay at 1-2. Schnatters is still the pitcher here, as we said. She has a 1-0 record with a .78 ERA. Pretty good pitching staff here for Des Moines area. Pitch in the dirt. That's the ball. 2-2 now. Goes the count. No outs as Cox is leading off the inning here. Bailey Springfield is on deck, the third baseman, here in game 2. She was the pitcher of record in the first game of the day. Ground ball, shortstop has it, plenty of time, and gets Cox on the putout. Back-to-back outs now, grounded out by the Indians to the shortstop. 1 out in the inning, and this is going to be Bailey Springfield coming to the plate.
Number 21, Bailey Springfield.
So Bailey going to try to get the bats fired up here with 1 out. We're in the bottom of the second. ICC trailing 4-1 after a 3-run top half of the inning. Got things going with the bases loaded. Springfield takes a look at that one. High for a ball. So you see the sun starting to set here in Fulton. As Springfield will dig in with a 1-0 count. Waiting the pitch to Springfield. She takes it, and it's across for a strike. 1-1 now. Goes the count to Bailey. One ball, one strike, one out. Nobody on for the Indians. Springfield thought about going on that one. Held back. It goes for a ball. 2-1 now is the count here to Springfield. Here's some young ICC fans trying to cheer on Bailey. Takes a look at that pitch across for a strike. 2-2 now. Goes the count here on Springfield. Bailey in her first at bat of the game. Fouls that one off to keep the at bat alive. We're at 2-2 with one out and nobody on here for the Indians. Springfield entered this series batting .293. Fouls that one off. She has a .339 on base percentage, .379 slugging when we started the day. She did get her 18th hit of the year in Game 1. That came in a clutch time in Game 2. That pitch goes high. Now the count goes full at 3-2. Got a pretty good at-bat battle going on here. Bailey's got to find a way to win it. ICC needs base runners. They trail by 3, 4-1 here in the bottom of the second. Springfield, nice one through. Right on cue that time was Springfield, almost doing like she did in the first game. Snuck one past the shortstop and gets the base hit.
Left fielder,
so now up is going to be Hannah Williams.
Hannah Williams.
Williams had a single in her only at bat of the day, and it was an RBI single to push across the lone run for the Indians in Game 1. So Hannah trying to spark a rally here with one out and a runner on first here for the Indians. Pitch is high for a ball. So the Indians trying to answer with at least a run. Would love to see them put a crooked number up on the board here in the bottom of the second. 3 runs in the top half of the inning is the difference so far. 4-1 is your score. Game 2 in the bottom of the second. Williams takes a look at that pitch. Low for a ball. 2-0 now is the count here on the left fielder. Williams, a sophomore, missed a large majority of last season after a foot injury into her freshman year. And man, that was unfortunate because she was seeing the ball well. I'd love to see her get back in that form here as she dribbles that one forward. And it's going to sneak through for a base hit. As Williams just got enough of it to get it past the third baseman deep in the hole over there at third, and back-to-back hits now. This is going to be Olivia Burns. I believe Olivia moved into that DP position. And so now ICC with runners on first and second with one out. Boy, Olivia could really help her own cause here. Right now on the hook for the loss if she could find a way to get a base hit here. Burns takes that first pitch across for a strike, and that was a beauty. Good job of just zipping that one across that corner. 0-1 is the count here on Burns. Madison Carnes due up next for the Indians. Runners on first and second with one out. Tried that bunt. And looking to run her back to second. So they had the shift on that time. She did attempt the bunt. So they're going to say she pulled back on it. So 1-1 is the count. Boy, there's a break for the Indians as she committed to that bunt that time. So a break for ICC. And there's a shot off the glove of the shortstop. And it's going to be bases loaded for ICC. Ball gets away, though, and the run's going to score, and runners will advance. Big time play there for the Indians.
ICC.
Take a look back at that on the Little Caesars replay. Tough play at short. I'm going to give her a hit. Springfield came around to score. So I was looking down at my stats, didn't really see what that was, but apparently a run scored on the error, and now the Bears want to talk things over here. 4-2 is the score. Slow roll to the mound here. Let's take a break and hear a few words from our sponsors and be back with more. ICC trying to rally here in the bottom of the second.
What do you want to do for lunch? I'm not going to pay like $7 for a burger combo.
You kids don't know about the raddest Little Caesars lunch combo of all time? 4 slices of deep dish pepperoni pizza and a 20-ounce beverage now for just $4. Here, hold this.
Get a Little Caesars hot and ready lunch combo for the incredible price of just $4 for a limited time.
Pizza, pizza.
And welcome back after that brief meeting in the circle by the Bears. ICC gets a run on a single. And then the error on the throw. Texting Lee Adams, who was on the field taking photos for ICCimages.com to see who that was on. And so now up is going to be Madison Carnes. And so he's going to say he didn't see it either. But there was an error on the play. Carnes tries to lay the bunt down, pops it back out of play for strike one. Good pitch, little rise ball. Heavy pitch that time as it fouled it back. Got out of play, though, for strike one. Not going to assign the error to anyone, but we will say there is an error on the play that allowed the run to score. So Carnes pops this one up and just drops foul before the third baseman can get to it. So Madison will live to see another day here with an 0-2 count. There's runners in scoring position for the Indians. Tying run is at second. ICC saw the Bears hang 3 runs on the board in the top half of the inning, trying to return serve here in the bottom half. Carnes waiting the 0-2 pitch. Shows bunt, lays it down. Going to try to go home. She's safe. Oh, no! Let's look at that on the Little Caesars replay. Okay, she was out. She was out. Good call by the umpire. I'm not going to say that loud enough for any ICC fans to hear us, but what got her was the fact that the throw was up the third baseline, and so the momentum carried the ball into the base runner. So fielder's choice, 1-2 on the putout of Hannah Williams, and we go back to the top of the lineup now with Corey Childs.
Fielder, number 7, Corey Childs.
So the bunt just did not get far enough away from home plate that time, and this is going to be Corey Childs coming to the plate. So after looking at that on the Little Caesars replay, I do got to agree with the call. As Carnes tries to deke the throw to second, and they threw it over to third in time, or not in time, I should say, as Burns dives back safely over at third. So there's 2 outs now in the inning. ICC going to try to find a 2-out base hit here from Corey Childs. She did single in her first at bat, stole second, and came around to score. That pitch missing low and outside. Runner does go to second. Carnes was kind of jogging to get there. The throw was down, and she kind of picked up the pace a little bit. And now the tying run moves back into scoring position. Boy, if Childs can get something down to the gap here, ICC could have a chance to tie this one up. 2 outs in the inning, 2-out hittings makes the difference between good teams and great teams as that pitch across for a strike. 2-1 now is the count here on Corey Childs. That was the difference in the last inning. They got 3 hits with 2 outs, drove across 2 runs with 2 outs. Childs pulls that one foul, and so she'll live to see another day. 2-2 now is the count here on Corey. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on base here in the bottom of the second. That pitch high. Childs ducks underneath it. 3-2 now goes the count here on Corey. If Childs were to reach, then it'd be Meg Sullivan due up next for the Indians. So 3-2 is the count. Ground ball. Second baseman got plenty of time. Throws it over for the putout. 4-3 of Childs, and the Indians just could not get anything going there with 2 outs in the inning. But they do score 1 run on 3 hits, 1 error, and 2 left on base. 4-2 is your score. ICC trailing Des Moines Area Community College here after 2 complete in Game 2. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
Ever since you got that license, you haven't stopped moving forward. Now that you're older and on the move, you need a safer place to keep your money. We get it. A student checking account frees you up with things like mobile check deposit to take care of that check from grandma without having to stop at a bank. Pay with your phone when you're out with friends. And stop worrying about ATM fees. We'll pay you back for those. Worry about your future, not your money. And know that we'll stick with you, wherever you go. Renaissance Bank. Understanding you. Member FDIC.
At Food Giant, serving you is our #1 priority. We offer the freshest produce, highest quality meats, tasty baked goods, and the best meats and cheeses in our deli department. At Food Giant, you'll always find a staff member eager to help you find exactly what you need. Freshness, variety, value. Shop Food Giant today with several locations in North Mississippi.
And welcome back now as we move to the top of the 3rd inning. ICC trailing Des Moines, Iowa by the score of 4-2 here in Game 2. ICC dropped a thriller in Game 1 in a pitcher's duel, 2-1.
Abby Schnatters.
As now up is going to be Schnatters. She walked, was replaced on the bases by Raymond, who was tossed out on a fielder's choice. That was back part of that 3-run second. Swings on the first pitch she sees, pops it up. Madison Carnes going to come in and get it for the putout. Carnes doing a good job calling off the pitcher. Don't look like that Macy found the ball off the bat that time. And so 1 out. 1 pitch, 1 out. That's what you like there.
Taylor Briley.
If you're a pitcher, back-to-back pop-ups to the second baseman. Briley at the plate takes that first pitch across for a strike. Briley hitting to that fielder's choice has scored on a wild pitch. 2 wild pitches. Allowed 2 runs to score for the Bears, I should say. So that pitch just missing high. 1-1 now is the count. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, and nobody on here in the top of the 3rd. This is Taylor Briley, the first baseman. And that pitch comes across for a strike. A little up in the zone, look like inside, but 1-2 now is the count. So Macy's getting set to deliver the pitch. This pitch popped up. Center fielder going back and makes the play. Does Corey Childs. A routine fly ball out to center field for out number 2. And now up is going to be the number 9 batter, Kelsey Hora, the center fielder. She walked and scored a run.
Kelsey Hora.
Part of that 3-run second inning. 4-2 is your score. 2 outs and nobody on now. Center fielder's got pretty good speed. Left side of the infield coming in. Right side of the infield playing at normal depth. Don't really know what. Maybe the batter took time. I don't know. He come out and basically reset him. Swung on and missed for a strike. You see the defensive lineup there, as we said. 3rd in tight, short in a couple of steps. Normal depth over there on the right side of the infield. Looks like the shallow in the outfield with the center fielder shading her a little bit to her left. That That pitch finds the zone for a strike. 0-2 now is the count here on Hora. So 0-2 is the count. There's 2 outs. Macy's getting set to deliver the pitch here. That pitch rised up a little too high out of the zone, trying to see if you can get her to chase one. Good eye that time by Hora, holds off on it. And 1-2 now is the count with 2 outs. Little check swing. Going to have to hurry. Instead, it's going to be an infield single. ICC fans trying to come up and say she was out of the box that time. And that's going to go for the 5th hit of the game. A little infield single that time as Hora showing off some of that speed that we talked about.
Avery Guy.
And now up is going to be Avery Guy. She walked, scored a run. She's also lined out to third in this contest. Light starting to come on here at the ballpark. Runner goes. Throw down is in time. Oh, my goodness. Did she miss her with the tag? Look at that on the Little Caesars replay. Everybody running off the field. So a tough break there for the Indians. Looked like it was caught stealing, but apparently she must have got underneath the tag. That pitch missing for a ball. Well, he was at a much better angle than us on the play. 2-0 is the count. That pitch across for a strike. And so 2-1 now is the count. Waiting the pitch coming here. That one high and outside. 3-1 goes the count. Well, the Indians, these young pitchers, kind of been rattled. Not getting some breaks here in this contest. 3-1 now goes the count here to Avery Guy, the leadoff batter, here in the top of the lineup for the Bears. And there's going to be a ground ball out to center field. They're going to ask the runner to score from second, and she will. And another timely hit there for the Bears. That's been the case here in Game 2, an RBI single. And we talked about it, 2-out hitting. And the Bears have done that so far here in the game.
Number 12,
so this is going to be Mia Ruther coming to the plate. She tripled, scored on a wild pitch, hit into a fielder's choice with the bases loaded in her last at bat. So now the Indians trying to find that third out. They have not been able to get those third outs here in the contest. That pitch across for a strike. So 0-1 is the count. Or actually, they called it an illegal pitch. Well, this is the umpire that, talking before the game, he's always looking for something. He doesn't just call the game. He looks for something to call. And that was it there. So an illegal pitch was the call. So 1-0 is the count here after that illegal pitch. That pitch across for a strike. 1-1 now is the count. Runner at first. There's 2 outs in the inning. ICC trying to get out of this inning with minimum damage done. The Bears have put another run on the board. 5-2 is the score. This one popped up. Center fielder is going to camp underneath it for the final out of the inning. But the Bears do put another run on the board. They get 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. 5-2, Des Moines with the lead. We'll take a break and come back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
What if Mississippi's community and junior colleges didn't exist? You'd see a much different Mississippi, one without these degrees. And the jobs that come from them. One where many would fail to get a higher education because affordable community and junior college is their only hope. We're in danger of this happening thanks to state budget cuts. In fact, Mississippi once ranked number 1 in America's community and junior college systems. Number 1. But now has slipped out of the top 10, way out, which is already a consequence of budget cuts. So, what if community and junior colleges didn't exist? If budget cuts continue, we may well find out. Contact your legislator and tell them to support Mississippi's community and junior colleges.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we get set to start the bottom of the third inning. ICC needing to find some runs here as they trail 5-2 here to Des Moines in Game 2. Two top 15 teams battling here in Fulton.
Number 15.
And this is going to be Meg Sullivan coming to the plate. Boy, you talk about somebody that's overdue for a big-time hit. That's going to be Meg Sullivan. So Meg will try to start the inning off here in a big way for the Indians, the right fielder. Swings the first pitch she sees. Slow roller to the third baseman. Throw over is in time for the putout. Score that 5-3 for those of you scoring at home. I think it's in Meg's head right now. She's just not being patient at the plate. Is chasing some bad pitches. Would like to see her take a couple of pitches before settling on a pitch like that she just swung on. So now this is going to be Sam Conley coming to the plate with one out. She had a sacrifice bunt on a squeeze play that scored a run. Stands in and takes that first pitch across for a strike. So Conley, no official at bat here in Game 2. She's catching the second game as well as the first game. That pitch low in the dirt for a ball. 1-1 now is the count. Piper is on deck. She grounded out to the shortstop to end the first. Conley takes that pitch low for a ball. 2-1 now. Goes the count here on the freshman out of Mandeville, Louisiana. So Conley at the plate, awaiting the 2-1 offering. Swings on this one, and it's going to drift foul. Just foul down that left field line. That one could have hooked in about another 1.5 feet. Would have been down for extra bases that time for Conley. Instead, it goes for strike 2. 2-2 now is the count with one out and nobody on here for the Indians in the bottom of the third. Conley hits one, and it bounces off the foot of the third baseman. A hard-hit line drive, and Conley reaches on a single. So now up is going to be Mackenzie Piper.
First baseman, number 18, Mackenzie Piper.
So tried to look at that on the Little Caesars replay, and I just missed it. So now up is going to be Mackenzie Piper. I tell you what, we got some little fans down below us, and they have been energetic and into the game the whole time. You heard a chant going on down there below us. As Piper swings on this one, right fielder's going to take a step back and underneath it for the out. So just couldn't quite get enough of that one for the second out as she flies out to right field.
Macy Cox.
And this is going to be Macy Cox coming to the plate. Macy needs to try to spark a 2-out rally here for the Indians. That's been the difference in this game right now. It's been 2-out hitting. Credit the Bears for coming up with some clutch hits. That pitch low in the dirt for a ball. So 2 outs and a runner at first. That's Samantha Conley. A ground ball, and it's going to be, a nice stop at second base. Thought that one had gotten through, but a beautiful play over there at second to get the out. Score that 4-3 on the putout of Cox. So the Indians get no runs on one hit, no errors, and one left on base. We've played 3, and ICC trails at 5-2. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
What's better than waiting in line at the bank? Literally everything. Renaissance Bank's mobile check deposit lets you take care of checks wherever you want. Click on Deposit Check in the Renaissance mobile app. Read and hit Continue on the bottom of the notice page. Sign it. Write your name, account number, and for mobile deposit only on the back. Photograph it, front and back, so we know it's real. Type in the amount, choose the account to deposit into, click Continue, and go on your way. You'll receive an email that is being processed, but hold on to the hard copy until the check clears, and then rip it up and throw it away. So what are you waiting for? Download the Renaissance mobile banking app and make waiting in line a thing of the past. Check, phone, check. Renaissance Bank, understanding you. Member FDIC.
Need money now? Get a Choice Pawn loan on things you already own, like guns, boats, campers, trailers, recreational vehicles, and just about everything else. Get a loan from Choice Pawn in Fulton and Tupelo. Get cash today. ChoicePawn.com.
And welcome back now as we move to the top of the fourth inning. ICC trailing this one 5-2 here in game 2. As we just talked about, it's just been clutch 2-out hitting for the Bears here in game 2. They've also scored 2 runs on a couple of wild pitches as well. But the difference in the game right now has been the 2-out hitting for the Bears and the lack thereof for the Indians.
Number 2, 3, Hunter.
So it'll be the 3, 4, 5 batters due up here for the Bears. Hunter, Neely, and Richards. Macy Cox still in the circle here for the Indians. First pitch popped up, back and out of play for strike 1. Remind you, our next broadcast of ICC Athletics will be tomorrow right here on the Red Channel as baseball travels to Southwest Tennessee. They'll be playing at USA Stadium. I believe that's in Millington, Tennessee is where that one is located. Change up just a bit too high for the umpire's liking. 1-1 now is the count. So 1 ball, 1 strike, no outs as Hunter is leading things off here. There's going to be a little flare, but a nice liner caught that time out at second base by Madison Carnes for the first out of the inning. Now this is going to be Neely coming to the plate. She had an RBI single in her last at bat. Her courtesy runner was left stranded. She's also flown out to left. Sees the first pitch, drills it. Sternisha gets it, throws it over. In time for the putout. 1 pitch, 1 out. 6-3 on the putout there. Nice play by Rachel Sternisha over at shortstop. And quickly 2 away now, and this is going to be the catcher, Bailey Richards.
Catcher number 4, Bailey Richards.
Well, this is where the Indians have struggled and the Bears have thrived so far here in game 2. Has been with 2 outs. Indians see if they can get a 3-up, 3-down inning. They haven't got one so far here. Change up, hangs up for a ball. Richard is 1 for 1 with a single. She did walk, was left stranded on first, back in the first. The first pitch goes for a ball. So does the second one as that one drifts up high. 2-0 now is the count. Two balls, no strikes, 2 outs, and nobody on here for the Bears. We're in the top of the 4th inning. ICC trailing 5-2. That pitch across for a strike. 2-1 now goes the count here on Richards. Between innings, we'll try to look at some of the highlights so far in the game. Would love to see a Renaissance Bank strikeout maybe added to the list here as this pitch popped up. I'll take a fly ball out to left field instead as Hannah Williams takes 2 steps over and gets it for the 3-up, 3-down inning. No runs, no hits, no errors for the Bears. First time they are retired in order. And that comes in the top of the 4th. 5-2 is your score. ICC needs to find a way to get the bats fired up here as the Bears lead this one 5-2. We take a look at some of the replays from earlier in the game. You're going to see a single by Corey Childs. She stole second, eventually came around to score. That was back in the first inning. And this is going to be Sam Conley. You're going to see the squeeze play executed to perfection. The only play the Bears had was over to first, and that was the first run of the game. Showed bunt, and then Burns heads up play defensively, tossed it to second to get the lead runner. And this is going to be Bailey Springfield. Bailey gets her first hit of the game. A little flare out to center field. She eventually came around to score on a throwing error by the Bears. Then it was Hannah Williams at the plate. A little slow roller that got past the third baseman. Deep in the hole, shortstop didn't have a throw to the speedy Williams as she was able to reach. Then you're going to see a single here by Olivia Burns as well. Burns got it over the head of the shortstop. It was a offered glove. And then it was actually bounced off the glove of the pitcher who was trying to cut the play off. That gave the error and allowed the run to score there for the Indians. And then they tried to get the suicide squeeze the second time. The bunt was not far enough ahead, and they were able to get the out there and keep another run off the board for the Indians.
Bailey Springfield.
So now Bailey Springfield will come to the plate here for the Indians. As Springfield will dig in. Takes a look at that first pitch across for a strike. The Indians trail this one 5-2. We're in the bottom of the fourth inning. ICC needs to find a way to get some runs going here, and it's got to start with base hits. Springfield looks at that pitch high for a ball. Leaves the count now at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, no outs as Springfield is leading off the bottom of the fourth inning here in Game 2. A top 15 battle here between ICC and Des Moines, Iowa. That pitch missing for a ball. 2-1 now is the count. This is Schneider still in the circle here for the Bears. 1-0 on the year, a .78 ERA. Second best on the team, by the way. That pitch, no clue where that one missed, folks. That was a pretty pitch. Caught a ball. 3-1 now is the count here on Springfield. For ICC, you'll take a walk. You got to get some people on the bases to try to cut into this 3-run lead by the Bears. Springfield, this one's got a chance. Back to the wall, and it's gone. Bailey Springfield with a solo shot to start the bottom of the fourth inning, and that could be the spark the Indians need to try to get this one fired up here. Take a look at that on the Little Caesars replay. A no-doubter there for Bailey Springfield. And a big-time way to start the inning here in the bottom of the fourth inning. You see Bailey heading around the bases in a hurry. And going to have a meeting inside the circle here for the Bears. Some of the Springfield fan club members below us a little bit excited to see that home run there. As 5-3 now is the score. Indians down by 2. No pitching change as this is going to be Hannah Williams coming to the plate. Second hit of the game for Springfield. Second run scored, first RBI. And now up is going to be Hannah Williams. Big time hit there for the Indians. Springfield shows bunt, pulls back on it. I like that by the catcher. A lot of people may laugh because there was nobody on base, but she come up ready to throw. That means she is in a very defensive mindset when she's behind the plate. That pitch missing. 2-0 now is the count here to Hannah Williams. So a solo home run by Bailey Springfield to start the bottom of the fourth. ICC now trailing by 2. Shows bunt, lays it down. Going to have to hurry. Throw over is error. Error mailed it. And Hannah Williams will head to second on the throwing error. E1 on the play there. And now up is going to be Olivia Burns. Well, Schneider's that time kind of panicked. She had more time to throw the ball than I think she realized. And heads up base running that time by Hannah Williams. Actually, she kind of pushed the first baseman out of the way that kind of jumped, not purposely jumped in her way, but kind of was in the way of her getting to second. She was able to sprint down to second in a hurry. So now this is going to be Olivia Burns. She did single in her first at bat. Shows bunt, fouls it off for strike 1. No outs here in the inning. ICC with the runner at second. They trail 5-3. Indians dropped the first game of the day, 2-1, trying to rally here to see if they can find a way to pick up the win in game 2. Burns at the plate. Lays the bunt down. Gonna have to hurry. The throw over is in time to get Burns. The sacrifice bunt does move the runner over to third. Score that one 1-4 on the putout of Burns. Runner does advance to third. That's a sacrifice bunt.
Shelby Newsom.
This is going to be Shelby Newsom coming to the plate to bat in place of Madison Carnes. So that sacrifice bunt being brought to you by the ICC Baptist Student Union. They're on a mission trip right now in Alaska. So doing the good work there. The ICC BSU reminding you the ultimate sacrifice paid for our sins. They meet Monday nights at 7:07. Wednesdays at lunch. All they ask is you bring $2 and a friend. Don't forget $2 for your friend as well for worship and lunch there at the ICC BSU. Follow them on Twitter at ICC BSU. So Shelby Newsom will dig in here with one out and a runner on third. Hannah Williams has got decent speed over there at third base. Indians would love to see if they can keep creeping back into this ball game. Newsom digs in. Takes a look at that first pitch, missing low for a ball. Newsom batting in place of Carnes here in that number 9 spot. Indians need to keep the rally alive here. One out and a runner on third. There's a shot, but pulled foul. 1-1 is the count. Well, the sun's setting here, so we're going to have a little bit of a sun flare on the camera until it gets tucked down behind the waterway. So 1-1 is the count here to Newsom. Newsom takes a look at that pitch. High and outside for a ball. 2-1 now is the count. Hannah Williams just maybe trying to get in the head of the pitcher. Lingering a little bit longer off the base. Over there at third, making her think about it. Tying run is at the plate. And Newsom. Newsom comes up empty. Took a healthy swing at that one. 2-2 now is the count here on Shelby. If Shelby were to reach them, we'll go back to the top of the lineup here. And Corey Childs. This pitch popped up. First baseman going over and is going to squeeze it. Oh, nearly bopped in and out of her glove. She was able to hang on to it there in foul territory for the second out of the inning. So this is going to be Corey Childs coming to the plate for the Indians. Well, this is what we said. The difference in the game right now has been the ability for the Bears to get 2-out hits. They've been able to cash in on those to get some runs. Now the Indians need to do the same here in the bottom of the fourth. 2 outs, and a runner is at third, and this is going to be Corey Childs at the plate. Childs takes a look at that one. Ball gets away. Runner stays at third. Well, I'll tell you what, very tempting to run at that one. Ball didn't get far enough away. Good job by Coach Kurt to recognize that over at third and keep Williams on the base. Ball 1. Childs looking for her second hit of the game. Takes a look at that pitch across for a strike. She started the game with a single out to center, stole second, came around to score on a squeeze play by Conley. Would love to see a repeat of her hit that she had to start the game out there to left. Instead, she's going to pop this one straight up and back out of play. 1-2 now. Goes the count here on Corey Childs. So Corey got to protect the plate here with a 1-2 count. Runner at third. ICC trailing 5-3. Childs, looks at a borderline pitch up for a ball. 2-2 now is the count here on Corey. So the Indians trying to keep this inning alive here. Childs nearly, or was hit by a pitch. Took one off the top of the head there. And now runners on the corners for the Indians, and this is going to be Meg Sullivan coming to the plate. Sullivan 0 for 2 on the day.
Yeah.
And we have time called. They're actually going to refer to the infield umpire, trying to see if it did hit her. And they're going to confirm it. Said it did bounce off the top of her head. Said it nicked her on the front of the helmet. I think the fact that Childs did not immediately react to the ball going down to first is what got the argument. So now up is going to be Meg Sullivan. So the tying run is at first here for the Indians. There's 2 outs in the inning. Sullivan 0 for 2 on the day. She's grounded out to second and third. So the Bears running into a little bit of trouble here. The Indians have put 1 run across, trying to find that second. Runner goes. No throw. Stolen base. Maybe that's the 21st stolen base of the year for Corey Childs. Yes, it is. So now a base hit, boy, would be huge. Sullivan takes a look at that pitch. Outside corner for a ball. So can the Indians extend this inning here? Get a 2-out hit. They trail by 2. Runner, or tying run is at second. Sullivan looks at that pitch low. 3-0 now is the count. We've got a battle brewing here in game 2, much like we saw in the first game of the day. 3-0 is the count. Sullivan taking the whole way that time. 3-1 now is the count here on the sophomore out of Springville, Alabama. Sun starting to tuck away behind the Tin Tom Waterway. Sullivan pops that one out of play. 3-2 now is the count here on Meg. The Indians looking for their first 2-out hit of the day. Can Sullivan cash in on it here? Tying run is at second. And there's ball 4. Ball gets away though. And the run will score. And heads up play by Sullivan. She goes from home to second. So ICC does get the run across. They lead it now 5-4. As that was Williams who scored on the pass ball.
Number 11, Sam Conley.
And now this is going to be Sam Conley coming to the plate. 1-run contest, 5-4. Tying run now at third for the Indians. Conley takes that one across for a strike. Let you guys listen to some of those young ICC fans below us enjoying the ball games. This pitch fouled out of play. Strike 2 now here on Conley. Have to get in a couple of balls here. There's been too many foul balls. Boy, I tell you what, Snothers just kind of looked at her dugout, and she looks kind of exhausted here. This has been a long bottom of the 4th inning, but ICC with only 2 runs to show for it. The tying run is at third. 0-2 pitch coming to Conley. Conley fouls it off. Throw to first is airmailed again. 1 run will score, 2 runs will score, and Conley will head to second. The Indians take the lead on another error by the Bears. So the Indians lead for the first time today as she jammed her on the pitch. The throw, she thought about it a little too much. Got away. 1 run scored, 2 runs scored. Now ICC leads it 6-5. And the infield umpire, the Bears coach want to talk to the umpires here. Trying to say it was a maybe hit her on the hand, but instead 2 runs did score there, and ICC has rallied to take the lead 6-5 with 4 runs here in the bottom of the 4th. We talked about getting something going with 2 outs. The Indians have done so here in the bottom of the 4th. We're going to have a pitching change. We'll take a break and be back with more. ICC has rallied to lead this one 6-5. Back with more right after this.
Need money now? Get a Choice Pawn loan on things you already own, like guns, boats, campers, trailers, recreational vehicles, and just about everything else. Get a loan from Choice Pawn in Fulton and Tupelo. Get cash today. ChoicePawn.com.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We do have a pitching change here being brought to you by Choice Pawn. Groet, Groet, is the new pitcher. As she will enter with a runner on second. ICC has battled back to take a 6-5 lead here in the bottom of the fourth. This is a Choice Pawn pitching change. Remind you that if you're looking for a pawn loan, you can't make the wrong choice with Choice Pawn. ChoicePawn.com with locations here in Fulton and Tupelo. And this is going to be Mackenzie Piper coming to the plate here for the Indians. 2 outs. As Piper takes a look at that first pitch at the knees, but called a strike. So ICC is pushed across 4 here in the bottom of the fourth. They lead 6-5 now over the number 2 team in the country, Des Moines, Iowa. Piper fouls this one out of play, and quickly behind the count now, 0-2, is McKenzie. Tell you what, I would love to have the energy of these young ladies in front of us, as they have just been behind the Indians all day today here, especially in game 2. 0-2 pitch coming. Piper fouls this one back out of play, and we'll stay at 0-2. Well, now that the sun is kind of set here in Fulton, it's getting chilly. So a runner at second. 0-2 is the count here to Mackenzie Piper. Piper swings and misses for strike 3, a big Renaissance Bank strikeout there to end the inning. But the Indians put a 4 spot on the board, highlighted by a solo home run by Bailey Springfield to start the inning. A 2-run error, 2 errors in the inning, and ICC has come back to take a 6-5 lead here in game 2. Let's take a break and hear a few words from our sponsors. We'll be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
I could get the extra most bestest with the most cheese and the most pepperoni for $6. Or I could get a pizza with less toppings for more money.
Get the most cheese and most pepperoni for the nation's best price. Little Caesars large $6 extra most bestest.
Pizza. You could say it's about the clubs. You could say it's about the ball. You could even say it's about the course or the weather. But what it really comes down to is consistency and hard work. Over and over and over again. At Renaissance, we understand consistency. We understand hard work. Most importantly, we understand you. Renaissance Bank. Understanding you.
Need money now? Get a Choice Pawn loan on things you already own, like guns, boats, campers, trailers, recreational vehicles, and just about everything else. Get a loan from Choice Pawn in Fulton and Tupelo. Get cash today. ChoicePawn.com.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We do have some Choice Pawn position changes here for the Indians. We'll give you those changes here. At third base is Olivia Burns. Moving to short is Bailey Springfield. Second baseman is now Rachel Sternisha. New first baseman in the game is Shelby Newsom. Let's go ahead and give you the rest of your Coca-Cola defensive lineup here. Macy Cox in the circle. Behind the plate is Samantha Conley. The outfield looks like this. In left field, that's going to be Hannah Williams. Center fielder is Corey Childs, and in right field is Meg Sullivan. This is going to be number 7. This is going to be Keisha Wells leading things off here for the Bears in the top of the 5th inning. 6-5, ICC with the lead. The Indians put a 4 spot on the board in the bottom of the 4th, as we talked about, highlighted by a solo home run by Bailey Springfield. Then Hannah Williams reached on an error, scored on a pass ball after advancing on a sacrifice bunt. And then Corey Childs was hit by a pitch, stole second, her 21st steal of the year. And then Meg Sullivan walked. Both Meg and Corey were able to score on an error when Sam Conley reached on a 2-out error. And that's your Sonic scoring update in the bottom of the 4th. 6-5 is your score. ICC with their first lead of the afternoon. And looking at the changeup that hung up high that time, goes for a ball. So with the lead now, Burns is off the hook in the decision. She'll get no decision in the contest. That first pitch fouled back for strike 1. Well, Wells did have a solo home run in the first game as she looks at that pitch high for a ball. 1-1 now is the count here on Wells. So the 1-1 pitch coming. It's across for a strike. 1-2 now is the count here on Keisha Wells. Boy, I tell you what, it's been a great day of softball. We knew that this would be a fun afternoon between two of the top-ranked teams in the country. Back-to-back tough games for the Indians. They swept the number 8 team in the country earlier in the week, trying to earn a split here in Game 2. As that pitch missing low and outside, 2-2 now is the count. ICC dropped a heartbreaker 2-1 in the first game. It was a pitcher's duel, and it was an exciting one. So the Indians trying to rally back here in Game 2. They lead at 6-5. Jam job. Springfield at short. Throws over in time for the putout. 6-3 of Wells. So 6-3 on the putout. And now 1 out in the inning, and this is going to be a new batter in, number 8, who is entered to pitch. That is going to be Growett, batting for the first time today. Takes a look at that pitch across for a strike. She kind of drops her jaw and shakes her head after that one. That one looked like it headed right down Broadway, maybe a little low. Didn't like it that time either way. 0-1 is the count. 1 out, nobody on here in the top of the 5th. That pitch across for a strike. I think her reaction to the first pitch might have earned her the strike on the second pitch. 0-2 is the count. It's one umpire you really don't want to react to any of his strike calls, especially if you don't like them, because he will ring you up. That pitch missing low and outside. Not a bad spot to miss after getting 2 close pitches called your way. Couldn't get her to go fishing, though. 1-2 now is the count with 1 out. So Macy Cox looking for her first Renaissance Bank strikeout of the day. Instead, that's going to be a line drive, but a catch at short by Bailey Springfield. Bailey able to step back and get that one. A small hop on the catch for out number 2. Well, I tell you what, the little kids went from cheering to trash talking in a hurry.
Number 32, Taylor Briley.
So remind me not to make those young ladies upset below us in the ICC Foundation broadcast booth. So now this is going to be the first baseman, Taylor Briley, coming to the plate with 2 outs and nobody on. We're in the top of the 5th. ICC has battled back to take a 6-5 lead. And this one, bye-bye. A no-doubter off the bat of Briley that time. She was looking change up and she got it. And she gave that one a ride. We're tied now at 6. Well, she got the pitch she was looking for. And another clutch 2-out hit for the Bears. A solo home run. And we're tied now at 6. So now Kelsey Hora, the center fielder batting in that number 9 spot, will come to the plate. She singled, stole a base, and scored a run.
Number 6.
And now this will be Hora, the center fielder. She's 1 for 1 with a stolen base. 2 runs scored. She also walked. That was back part of that 3-run second inning that feels like it was 3 hours ago. So the Indians Got the infield coming in a little bit. First is at normal depth. Little Nubber going to have to hurry. And not in time. A little infield single that time. Boy, I tell you what, Kelsey Hoare is quick as a hiccup. Showing off those jets, getting down first base. ICC fans trying to argue the fact to see if she was out of the box.
Avery Guy.
They haven't got that call today if she was. So you just got to play through it now. So now up is going to be Avery Guy. She had an RBI single. She has walked and lined out to third. She scored a run. That was back in the second. So the Indians trying to find that third out of the inning here. We talked about it. Man, 2-out hitting is what can make an average team good and a good team great. And that has been one thing the Bears have done outstanding job of today, is getting clutch hits with 2 outs in the inning. And there's a line drive right back to the pitcher. Let's take a look at that one on the Little Caesars replay. And a good job by Macy Cox to get the line drive and get out of the inning. 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. We're tied at 6. We're going to take a break and come back with the bottom of the 5th. Don't go anywhere, folks. We got a good one going here in Game 2. Back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
Best tailgate, brisket.
No, real football y pollo asado.
Hoops and wings. Burgers.
7-layer dip.
Hummus.
What?
You need a hot grill.
And an ice cold Coke.
It's got to be cold.
It's Tailgate 101.
At Food Giant, serving you is our #1 priority. We offer the freshest produce, highest quality meats, tasty baked goods, and the best meats and cheeses in our deli department. At Food Giant, you'll always find a staff member eager to help you find exactly what you need. Freshness, variety, value. Shop Food Giant today with several locations in North Mississippi.
And welcome back. So we do have a choice pawn position change here. It appears that number 14, Caitlin Schumacher, is going to go to third base.
Third base, number 14, Caitlin Schumacher.
Trying to see if there's any other changes. I don't believe there is. So we're in the bottom of the 5th inning, Game 2 between ICC and Des Moines, Iowa. Don't know why I forgot who we were playing all of a sudden. This is going to be Macy Cox to lead things off here.
30, Macy Cox.
Macy with right now could be in line with the win or the decision, I should say, if she stays in this next inning. At pitch, missing low for a ball. So Macy trying to get things started here for the Indians in the bottom of the 5th. 6-6 is your score. Takes a look at that pitch. Called a strike. Well, the Indians got a solo home run in the 4-run 4th. The Bears answer with a solo home run in the top of the 5th to tie it at 6. That pitch missing outside for a ball. 2-1 now goes the count here on Macy Cox. Well, I tell you what, if you tuned in to today's broadcast, you have seen 2 good games, and we still got a couple innings to play here in Fulton. Cox chases a high pitch, fouls it back out of play. 2-2 now is the count here on the pitcher from Troy, Tennessee. Temperatures dropping as the sun is set here in Fulton. Cox reaches out and fouls that one off to keep the at-bat alive here at 2-2. Remind you to join us tomorrow afternoon here on Let'sGoICCTV.com, the Red Channel, as we'll have baseball coming your way. ICC playing in one of their final non-division games of the year against Southwest Tennessee. Cox couldn't catch up with the fastball, and that's a strikeout. Back-to-back strikeouts now for Grote. Groet.
Number 21.
So back-to-back Renaissance Bank strikeouts. Let me get her first name. That way I can just go by it, hopefully. Alexis. So that's what we'll call her. So Springfield looks at that pitch low for a ball. Well, Bailey had a home run in her last at bat. She's 2 for 2 so far in the contest. She has scored a run. Obviously driven in a run with that home run. So 1-0 is the count. Springfield looks at that one, called a strike. 1-1 now is the count here to the sophomore out of Manti, East Webster High School. She played last year at Delta State before transferring here to ICC. Springfield swings and misses at a heavy pitch there. Tried to plant that one again. 1-2 now is the count. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, nobody on here. We're in the bottom of the 5th. Springfield, good looking pitch that time for the Bears. Said it was a little low and inside for his liking. 2-2 now is the count. The wind is blowing out to left center. 2-2 pitch coming here. Springfield takes a healthy chop at a pitch outside the zone and goes down. Now 3 in a row for Alexis on Renaissance Bank strikeouts. So now up is going to be Hannah Williams.
Number 10, Hannah Williams.
So Williams going to try to fire up the bats here for the Indians with 2 outs and nobody on here in the bottom of the 5th. So awaiting the pitch here. Takes a look at that pitch across for a strike. Deep into the evening this afternoon. The first pitch of the day was tossed out at 3:05. It's now 7:12. I remember when softball games didn't last this long. That was only a few years ago. So that pitch missing outside for a ball. 1-2 now is the count here to Hannah Williams, the left fielder. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody on here for the Indians. 6-6 ball game here in game 2. Hannah was begging for time. Umpire would not give it to her and finally has to. After Alexis had shook off a couple of pitches. Pitch is low in the dirt, nobody on for the Indians to be able to do any damage with. And now 2-2 is the count here to Hannah Williams. Would love to see a 2-out hit here out of Hannah Williams, see if the Indians can get the bats fired up here. But right now, Alexis, the reason I'm calling her by her first name, I can't pronounce her last name. She has kept the Indians' bats quiet with 3 in a row on Renaissance Bank strikeouts. That pitch high, borderline pitch, just couldn't get her to chase one. 3-2 now, the count goes full here to Hannah Williams. If Hannah were to reach, and I believe Olivia Burns would be on deck, she's up next for the Indians. And she does. She draws the walk. Nice at bat that time by Hannah Williams to battle back and reach for the 3rd time today. And now this is going to be Olivia Burns. So Burns will dig in.
Olivia Burns.
Runner on first. 2 outs. Olivia had a sacrifice bunt in her previous at bat. She did single in her first at bat of the day. That was back in the 3rd inning when the Indians were able to score a run on an error. 6-6 is your score, ICC. Trying to get the bats fired up here with 2 outs in the inning. Snap throw to first, not in time. Close play over at first. Called time as the first baseman did what you're supposed to. Keep your hand, or keep the tag on the runner until they call time. That first pitch missed, or swung on a miss for a strike. Burns thought about chasing the high pitch. And held off on it. 1-1 now is the count here to the freshman out of Grenada. Well, I've said that now. I've also, like I said, get on good authority, a.k.a. a lot of her family members. She's from Coffeyville. Swung on and missed for strike 2. 1-2 now is the count on Burns. Burns just not looking too comfortable at the plate in this at bat. We're in the bottom of the 5th, game 2, ICC. And Des Moines, Iowa tied at 6. That high pitch held off on it. 2-2 now is the count. And woo, if you're Hannah Williams, you might want to think about getting back a little bit quicker, as that was close. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and a runner on first here. Bottom of the 5th, ICC trying to spark a 2-out rally here. Burns takes that pitch high for a ball. 3-2 now is the count here. So Williams will be in motion on this payoff pitch coming from Alexis. Indians and Bears tied at 6. Pitch coming. And ball 4. So back-to-back walks now, and this is going to be Shelby Newsom coming to the plate.
Number 19, Shelby Newsom.
We'll have a quick meeting in the circle here amongst the players for Des Moines area. ICC with the go-ahead run at second for Shelby Newsom, who is at the plate. She popped up in foul territory to the first baseman in her first at-bat of the game as she came into bat in place of second baseman Madison Carnes. 2 outs, runners on first and second here for the Indians. ICC trying to get something brewing here in the bottom of the 5th inning. They scored 4 in the bottom of the 4th to take a momentary lead at 6-5, then a solo home run by Briley, a no-doubter out to left, tied us up at 6. That pitch missing outside for a ball. I'd like to see a little bit more urgency out of Hannah getting back to the bags. They've been a couple of close plays. She kind of strolled back to second. So that first pitch missing for a ball. Oh, Shelby just could not catch up with the high heat that time. Good call on the rise ball. 1-1 now is the count. Have time taken here. We'll have a runner come in this situation. So a runner coming in. And this is going to be Lily Moore. Moore coming in to run here for the Indians. Hey, speaking of Lily, got to give a shout out to Small Shelf. Had lunch there before the game, and the teammate there.
Lulu Moore.
As that is, the reason why I bring that up is because Lily's dad owns Small Shelf. And had a chance to eat lunch there before the game. As always, outstanding food out there at Small Shelf, located right across the street from us at ICC. That pitch at the knees, but called a strike. 1-2 now is the count here on Shelby Newsom. So the go-ahead run is at second here for the Indians. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on base here for the Indians. Bottom of the 5th. That pitch. Oh, Alexis thought that was strike 3. Very animated after not getting the call. And I kind of got to agree with her. That was a borderline pitch that was just a bit low for the umpire's liking. 2-2 now is the count. Newsom puts a charge into it, foul, and we'll stay at 2-2. Boy, she can time something up here. Newsom's got some pop in her bat. Indians and Bears tied at 6. Bottom of the 5th inning. Change up, ground ball. Great job at short. Just dove in front of that one to make an outstanding play and get the force at second. And a good job defensively by the Bears. And we're tied at 6. We're going to head to the 6th inning. ICC and Des Moines area in a battle here. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being presented by the ICC Alumni Association, the Bank of Okolona, the ICC BSU, Choice Pond with locations in Tupelo and Fulton, Buddy Long and the Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, Food Giant, the ICC Foundation, your Etowah County Farm Bureau agent Joey Cox, Little Caesars, Renaissance Bank, Sonic, and the ICC Wesley Foundation.
Best tailgate, brisket.
No, real football y pollo asado.
Hoops and wings. Burgers.
7-layer dip.
Hummus.
What?
You need a hot grill.
And an ice cold Coke.
It's got to be cold.
It's Tailgate 101.
Need money now? Get a Choice Pawn loan on things you already own, like guns, boats, campers, trailers, recreational vehicles, and just about everything else. Get a loan from Choice Pawn in Fulton and Tupelo. Get cash today. ChoicePawn.com.
And welcome back as we got a bunch of Choice Pawn position changes here for the Indians. As a new first baseman, that's going to be Mackenzie Piper. Second baseman returning to the game is Madison Carnes. So moving from second to short, back to short, is Rachel Sinisha. And moving from short back to third is Bailey Springfield. That is your Choice Pawn position changes. As this is going to be number 12, Mia Ruther at the plate. She had a triple, scored on a wild pitch back in the first inning. She's reached on a fielder's choice and then flew out to center to end the third. So getting the changes in to the coaches for Des Moines area. We do want to say a special hello to those that might be watching in favor of the Bears this afternoon. So Ruther coming to the plate here. Macy Cox still in the circle here for the Indians. Shows bunt, stabs at it, comes up empty for strike one. So Springfield will creep in a little bit over there at third base. Stranisha will step up at second. Madison Carnes comes in, or excuse me, Stranisha at short. Madison Carnes will come in at second. So the first pitch missed on the bunt attempt for a strike. Pops this one up, trouble, and it's a fair ball. And that's going to be a double. Never stopped running on the play. Heads up run that time by Ruther. And that's going to be a double to start the inning there. Well, I'll tell you what, that's one thing that the Bears do extremely well. When you adjust defensively, they go with the adjustment, and they'll go from either the bunt attempt or the slap attempt, and that one was about 6 inches fair. Great effort by Hannah Williams out there in left field to try to get to it, but could not do so. 6-6 is your score. Runner at second now with no outs here in the top of the sixth. And Coach Kurt wanting to come out and rally the troops here. 6-6 is your score. Let's take a break and hear a few words from our sponsors and be back with more right after this.
I could get the extra most bestest with the most cheese and the most pepperoni for $6. Or I could get a pizza with less toppings for more money.
Get the most cheese and most pepperoni for the nation's best price. Little Caesar's large $6 extra most bestest.
Pizza.
Need money now? Get a Choice Pawn loan on things you already own, like guns, boats, campers, trailers, recreational vehicles, and just about everything else. Get a loan from Choice Pawn in Fulton and Tupelo. Get cash today. ChoicePawn.com.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we do have a Choice Pawn pitching change here, as Olivia Burns will re-enter here for the Indians. So the DP changes back to the pitcher. The pitcher who was Macy Cox now returns to the DP. So Burns will re-enter here for the Indians. And we'll take a break while she takes some warm-up tosses and be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
At Food Giant, serving you is our #1 priority. We offer the freshest produce, highest quality meats, tasty baked goods, and the best meats and cheeses in our deli department. At Food Giant, you'll always find a staff member eager to help you find exactly what you need. Freshness, variety, value. Shop Food Giant today with several locations in North Mississippi.
And welcome back to action, ladies and gentlemen, as we runner on second here for the Bears. ICC and Des Moines Area Community College out of Iowa tied at 6. This is Bree Hunter. She had an RBI single back in the second. She's also walked, was left stranded in the first, lined out to second in her last at bat. So Burns re-enters here for the Indians. That first pitch missing high for a ball. So the runner at second belongs to Cox. That pitch missing low for a ball. 2-0 now is the count. So the Indians trying to pitch around this little jam here in the top of the sixth. This pitch fouled back out of play. 2-1 now goes the count here to Hunter. Well, a chilly evening here in Fulton. ICC trying to earn a split with the number 2 team in the country here this afternoon after dropping a 2-1 decision in game 1. Change up, hangs up for a ball. 3-1 now goes the count here to Hunter. So 3-1 is the count. Burns facing her first batter here in Hunter. This pitch fouled back out of play. 3-2 now is the count. Looked like she might have chased ball 4 out of the zone that time. So a gift there for the Indians. This has been a battle here in this contest. Both games so far. This has been a great day of softball. 3-2 pitch coming. Misses it high. And that's going to be a walk. So now the Bears got something going here in the top of the 6th inning. Runners on first and second with no outs, and this is going to be Neely coming to the plate. She's 1 for 3 here in game 2. She does have an RBI single to her credit. Ran out to short in her last at bat, flew out to left in her first. Change up, and it was a beauty. Oh my. Said it fell off the table just a bit too soon. Well, the ICC fans have not been a fan of the home plate umpire throughout this game. This pitch popped up. Trouble. Corey Childs will have to hurry and makes the play. So good job by Corey Childs, showing off some of that world-class speed out there in center field to get the first out of the inning. That was a big one there. 1 out now. Runners stay at first and second.
Number 4, Bailey Richards.
And now up is going to be Bailey Richards. Bailey is 1 for 2 on the day. She does have a single. She walked, was left stranded back in the first. She flew out to left to end the 4th in her previous at-bat. 6-6 is your score. Runners on first and second with 1 out. Swung on and missed. Couldn't find that one for strike 1. So the Indians trying to get out of this jam here. The Bears trying to get something going. With the go-ahead and run at second. Shows bunt, pitch just high for a ball. Well, I said our next broadcast would be tomorrow in Southwest Tennessee. We may still be playing by that time. That pitch in the dirt gets away. No, it does not. Good job by Samantha Conley. Thought that one got away, allowing the runners to advance, but Sam, man, she has earned her keep tonight behind the plate. As she gets in front of that one, 2-1 now is the count. Bailey Richards, the catcher, at the plate here for the Bears. 6-6, top of the 6th. Tries to bunt it and bunts it back foul. 2-2 now is the count. Trying a little surprise bunt that time out of Richards, who does have pretty good speed to be a catcher. Just could not get that one down. 2-2 now is the count. So now the infield will go back with a 2-2 count. I don't know if you might just see if you can roll the dice and get the bunt down this time, but she does. She's safe all day. Instead, the ball in the dirt gets away. Wild pitch. Allows runners to advance. Tell you what, if Sam could have blocked that one up, wow. But that one gets away, allowing the runners to move into scoring position. And so now 3-2 is the count. So Burns needs to dig deep and see if she can get an out here. The Bears would love to get a base hit or even just a ground ball to push across and run. So the 3-2 pitch coming from Burns. Dribbler, and it gets past off the glove of the diving third baseman. 1 run will score. They're going to ask 2 to score, and they will. And that's going to be a double for Richards. A big-time hit there, the second double of the inning. And Iowa comes up with a big-time hit there to take an 8-6 lead. Well, Springfield dove for the ball, was able to get a glove on it, but just not enough to get the stop. And now here comes Keisha Wells, the right fielder. Grounded out to the shortstop in her previous at-bat. Popped up to second and to the pitcher in her first two at-bats of the game. Change up, drops in for a strike. 8-6 now is the score. So runner at second for the Bears. This pitch fouled back out of play. 0-2 now is the count here on Wells. So those runs belong to Cox, who is now on the hook if the Indians cannot find a way to rally over these next two innings. Wells has got plenty of pop in her bat. We've seen that already. 0-2 is the count. One out and a runner on second. Pitch coming. Fouls this one back and we'll stay at 0-2. 8-6 is your score. We have eclipsed the 2-hour mark in the game. The first pitch was at 5:27. It's now 7:32. So we've surpassed that 2-hour mark here in this epic battle. That pitch high. Good job by Conley going to climb the ladder to get that one. 1-2 now is the count with one out. Runner on second here for the Bears. They lead it 8-6 after a two-run double by Bailey Richards. Change up, and it's a beauty. Strike three. Take a look at that on Little Caesars replay, and it had Wells dancing all over the place. Looking at strike three, a big-time Renaissance Bank strikeout there for Olivia Burns. So now here comes Alexis to the plate. The pitcher now who has got a couple of runs to get a little bit of run support. Two outs and a runner on second. That pitch high in the zone for a ball. So 1-0 is the count here to grow it. That pitch across. Oh, good looking pitch. Just a bit too high for the umpire's liking for a ball. 2-0 now is the count. 2 balls, no strikes, 2 outs, and a runner on second. We're in the top of the sixth. 2 runs have scored for the Bears, and that pitch getting some moans and groans out of the Iowa fans. And I got to agree with them that time for the crew out of Des Moines. So that pitch looked to be extremely inside. Maybe a makeup call after that last pitch called a ball. This pitch fouled back out of play. 2-2 now goes the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and a runner on second here for the Bears. Burns toes the rubber, set to deliver. There's strike 3. Back-to-back Renaissance Bank strikeouts by Olivia Burns. Got them both looking at a big-time strikeout there to cut the damage to a minimum. But they do score 2 runs on 2 hits. And no errors, 1 left on base. ICC needs to find a way to rally in the bottom of the 6th. They trail it 8-6. Let's take a break and be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being presented by the ICC Alumni Association, the Bank of Okolona, the ICC BSU, Choice Pond with locations in Tupelo and Fulton, Buddy Long and the Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, Food Giant, the ICC Foundation, your Etowah County Farm Bureau agent Joey Cox, Little Caesars, Renaissance Bank, Sonic, and the ICC Wesley Foundation.
The new extra most bestest pizza from Little Caesars is topped with the most cheese and the most pepperoni for the nation's best price. And now for a secret message.
Surrender to the toppings.
Incredible! Extra most bestest, the most cheese and most pepperoni for just $6.
Pizza, pizza.
And welcome back, as it looks like we may have a new catcher in the game. He said 20. As it'll be the 1, 2, 3 batters due up here for the Indians. He kept looking at the catcher, but the catcher is still Bailey Richards. I don't know who the change is.
Number 7. Corey
Schumacher is still at third. He said number 20. J.C. Voss has checked in somewhere in the game for the Bears. So Corey Childs will start us off here. Takes a look at that pitch across for a strike. Right field is where Voss is. So Voss is out in right field. Thankfully, she turned her back to me and was able to pick up her number. Childs takes a look at that pitch in the dirt. Evens up the count now at 1-1. So the Indians trying to find those 2 more runs here as they're giving up 2 in the top half of the inning. Childs takes a look at that pitch. Goes across for a ball. 2-1 is the count here on Corey Childs. Childs rips one, second baseman. Just perfect technique that time. Was able to retire Childs for the second time this afternoon on a 4-3 ground out. So 1 away now. And now this is going to be Meg Sullivan coming to the plate.
Meg Sullivan.
So Sullivan will dig in here with 1 out and nobody on. Meg is 0 for 2 with a walk. She has scored a run. She's grounded out to second and also to third in her first 2 at-bats of the ball game. Sullivan takes that first pitch across for a strike. 0-1 now is the count here to the sophomore out of Springville, Alabama. There's a shot to center field. It's going back to the wall, and it's out of here! Meg Sullivan with a solo home run to dead center. And the Indians cut it to a 1-run lead here on a big-time shot by Meg Sullivan. Taking a look at that on the Little Caesars replay. That one just carried along enough to get it out of the ballpark. And a big-time hit there for Meg Sullivan. Don't go anywhere, folks. This game is far from over. As Sullivan parks that one out in dead center to make it an 8-7 contest. And now this is going to be Sam Conley coming to the plate.
Number 11. Sam Conley.
Man, if you thought about coming to the game today and decided not to, you have missed out. As Sam Conley takes that first pitch in there for a strike. 8-7 now is your score. That pitch missing high, 1-1 now is the count here to Sam Conley. Well, that was not a wind-aided home run either. The wind is kind of drifting into the ballpark. That was just on a rope. 1-1 pitch coming. Conley looks at that one low for a ball. 2-1 now is the count. Someone's out there in center field looking for the ball. I think when it hit and ran. Looking like a Lee Adams drive. Ground ball to the shortstop. Has plenty of time. Bobbled it. Throws it over and gets her by a half a step. 6-3 on the putout of Sam Conley. And now up is going to be Mackenzie Piper. Greg Brown checking in. excited about that home run off the bat of Meg Sullivan. 8-7 is your score. ICC trying to rally in this one. They trail by 1 in the bottom of the 6th. Pitch high for ball 1. So 1-0 is the count here to Mackenzie Piper. That pitch missing low, 2-0 now is the count. So Piper trying to extend this inning. 2 outs in the inning here. 2-0 is the count to Piper. Looks at that pitch across for a strike. 2-1 now is the count here to Mackenzie. So waiting the 2-1 pitch. Pitch is high. Nicely done that time. I say nicely done, but Bailey Richards, really nobody on base doing any damage. But I like the play of this catcher behind the plate for Des Moines, Iowa. Even when there's nobody on base, she's playing like there's a runner at third. So she is tuned in each time. Piper fouls this one back out of play. Count goes full, 3-2 here on Mackenzie Piper. We're still looking for that home run ball out there in center field. Like I said, I think it's going to it probably hit and roll pretty far if it was able to get over that fence out there in center field on the rope that it was on. Piper hits one. Center fielder running over and can't make the catch. So Piper, and that's going to be a hit for Piper. A great effort out there in center field by Kelsey Hora. She tried to make the sliding catch. The ball actually rolled up her back after it came out of her glove and possibly could have caught it before it touched the ground, but a single there for Mackenzie Piper. We're going to have, I believe, a runner come in this situation for Piper. And we're trying to see who the new runner is going to be here for ICC. I believe it might be Kelsey Yates. And it is going to be Kelsey Yates coming in to run here for Piper.
Runner at first base for the Lady Indians, number 25, Kelsey Yates.
So tying run now is at first with 2 outs in the inning. And this is going to be Macy Cox. Boy, she can really help her own cause here with a base hit to keep this inning alive. She's in line right now for the decision. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning, 8-7. There's a shot, and it's pulled foul. Well, if that one could have got down the line in right field, Kelsey Yates got enough speed to make it interesting. For sure would have ended up on third. But either way it goes, that just goes for a strike. 0-1 is the count here. This pitch fouled back out of play. And now the count goes 0-2. So Cox with an 0-2 count, a runner on first, 2 outs. ICC trying to get something fired up here. That pitch low. Yates acts like she was going that time. Stepped back out of it. So now the count goes 1-2. So the 1-2 pitch coming. Pop back out of play. And we'll do it all over again. So 1-2 stays the count. So ICC with a tying run at first. Macy Cox at the plate. We're waiting the pitch here. Ground ball, foul ball, and we'll do it all over again. 1-2 stays the count. Well, I'll tell you what, these two teams, those regions match up in the postseason, and this has had a playoff atmosphere all day today here at the ballpark. 2 intense games, and this one still got an inning to go. Slow roller, shortstop's going to have to hurry, throw across the way, and got her by a half a step. So the Indians leave the tying run on the bases, but they do get a solo home run by Meg Sullivan to make it an 8-7 contest as we head to the 7th. Don't go anywhere, folks. Back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
Sonic Nights is the highlight of the summer.
Oh, yeah. There's probably some pretty big names here checking out these half-price floats.
Oh, everyone who's anyone is here tonight. Look, there are those 2 guys.
What are they famous for?
Huh. I think for eating here all the time.
Are we good at eating here or what?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, come on.
For a limited time, get real ice cream slushes, shakes, and floats half price after 8 p.m. during Sonic Nights. This is how you Sonic.
When I think of potential, I think of a matchstick. When a matchstick reaches its potential, it releases a flame that ignites everything around it. 2018 brings new potential for you and your life at Itawamba Community College, where you are each empowered to do great things. You can be better, accomplish more, and live a life that is above the bar. Your potential is here.
And welcome back now as we move to the 7th inning. Des Moines area with an 8-7 lead here over the Indians in Game 2, trying to complete the sweep. Let me rephrase that. Earn the sweep of the Indians this evening if they can find a way to pick up the win here in Game 2. This has just been a great day of softball. We do appreciate everyone joining us here on Let'sGoICCTV.com, and we do want to say a special hello to those back in Iowa that might be watching in favor of the Bears this evening. Olivia Burns in the circle. That pitch floats up high for a ball. So Burns missing on the first pitch. Fastball paints that corner. No, missing for a ball. She got a couple of those calls. One of them for strike 3 in the last inning to get back-to-back Renaissance Bank strikeouts. Some big strikeouts here to end that inning. This pitch popped up high into the evening here in Fulton. Meg Sullivan steps up 2 steps to her left, or her right, excuse me, and makes the play. So that is a fly out of Riley.
Number 6, Kelsey Hora.
So Hora will dig in. She's 2 for 2 with a walk. That pitch across for a strike. Left side of the infield coming in. You see Madison Carnes at second base creeping in as well. Piper at first at normal depth. That pitch missing high for a ball. 1-1 now is the count. On the top of the 7th, 1 out, nobody on here for the Bears. Hora at the plate. Pops this one back out of play for a strike. 1-2 now is the count. She has been a tough out this afternoon for the Indians. As we said, she is 2 for 2 with a walk. She has scored 3 runs. She has stolen a base as well. So 1-2. Pitch coming. Change up. And that's going to be another infield single. Just a little check swing that found contact enough to chase away from the third baseman. And her 3rd hit of the game. No, said she's out. Said she was out of the batter's box. And that should get a big cheer out of the ICC faithful. They've been begging for that all day. So now there's 2 outs. And the Des Moines area coach coming out saying, you haven't called that all night. He does have a legit argument there, but he quickly come up and called him out. So I was following the ball of the play. So now to the top of the lineup we go, Avery Guy. She lined out to the pitcher. She does have an RBI single. She walked, scored a run, and lined out to third. Change up, and it's across for a strike. Wow, that one was up. I think the umpire's gotten cold is why he's called that one a strike and probably called the last batter out. Iowa people are like, this ain't cold. That pitch, fastball, high and outside, 1-1 now is the count. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, nobody on here for the Bears. They lead it 8-7. Swung on and missed for strike 2. Good job by Burns that time. Take a little bit off of that one. Looked like Guy was swinging at it either way, kind of a half-hearted swing that time. 1-2 now. Goes the count here on Avery Guy, the shortstop. Indians trying to get a 3-up, 3-down inning here. Pitch coming. High for ball 2. Two is the count here to Guy. Nobody on base, 2 outs. Top of the 7th, ICC trailing 8-7. Ground ball up the middle. Carnes going to have to hurry. Throw across. No. Low. Runner does, though. Trying to go to second, but wisely gets back. So E4
Number 12,
puts Guy on. Good throw, probably had her. I think Carnes may have thought she had a little bit, didn't have as much time to throw it over. The low throw, Piper couldn't dig it out of the dirt, and now we go to the number 9 batter, Ruther, who has a double and a triple to her name today. She's also scored 2 runs. One of those runs coming on a wild pitch all the way back in the first inning that started just shy of 5:30. Slap hit, foul ball. Strike 1. Yeah, that hit, I don't know if you heard it at home. That's one of those that you may call time and kind of shake that one off. That one rattles your forearm. So 0-1 is the count. 2 outs and a runner on first. Swung on and missed. The throw down to second's not in time. Gets away, but good job by Corey Childs backing up the throw out there in center field. It was swung on and missed for strike 2. 0-2 now is the count here on Ruther. Well, the Bears will play East Mississippi tomorrow. Hopefully that's an afternoon start, late afternoon start, much like we had today for the Bears. And maybe they're staying somewhere close. Is that pitch missing low and outside for a ball? Not a bad spot to miss that time by Olivia. 1-2 now goes the count. So 1-2 is the count. 2 outs. A runner on second here for the Bears, trying to pick up an insurance run as they lead this one 8-7. Here on the top of the 7th in game 2. This pitch foul straight back over the top of the ICC Foundation broadcast booth. Remind you, find out how you can support ICC by visiting iccms.edu. That's iccms.edu to find out more about the ICC Foundation. Mr. Jim Ingram, be happy to talk to you on how you can donate to ICC. 1-2 is the count here. Burns trying to get out of this inning with no damage done. Change up, popped up, and it's going to be caught by the shortstop, Rachel Stranicia. And so a big time out there caught by Stranicia. And the Bears cannot do anything with the error there. Great diving catch out there deep in the hole. Do the Indians have a rally in them? 8-7 is your score. We head to the bottom of the 7th. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
Quarter-pound junior double cheeseburger with crispy golden tots for just $2.99.
Makes me kind of want to do a double take.
Double the beef.
Double the cheese.
Double the smiles.
Oh, yeah.
For a limited time, get a quarter-pound junior double cheeseburger and tots for just $2.99. This is how you Sonic.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being presented by the ICC Alumni Association, the Bank of Okolona, the ICC BSU, Choice Pond with locations in Tupelo and Fulton, Buddy Long and the Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, Food Giant, the ICC Foundation, your Etowah County Farm Bureau agent Joey Cox, Little Caesars, Renaissance Bank, Sonic, and the ICC Wesley Foundation.
And welcome back now as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. ICC trailing this contest 8-7. Here to number 2, Des Moines, Iowa. ICC dropped a 2-1 decision in game 1. Had a chance late. Can the Indians redeem themselves here in game 2? It'll be Bailey Springfield, Hannah Williams, and Olivia Burns due up here for ICC in the bottom of the 7th. Springfield checks swings on the first one, takes it for a ball. They want to appeal down to first. Said she did not go. 1-0 is the count here to Bailey Springfield. Bailey is 2 for 3 with a home run and a single. That pitch missing high for a ball. 2-0 now is the count here to Springfield. The Indians trailing by 1 here in the bottom of the 7th. 8-7 is your score. Springfield, the leadoff batter here in the bottom of the 7th. Takes a look at that pitch. Outside, 3-0 now. Goes the count here on Springfield. So Bailey, you figure she'll be taking here with the red light on a 3-0 pitch. Alexis Gorette inside the circle. And that's going to be a strike called there. 3-1 now. Goes the count here to Springfield. For the Indians, you want to get somebody on base. Find a way to get that tying run on base and see if you can get her around the bases to tie this one up in the bottom of the 7th. 8-7 is your score. Springfield fouls that one back. And now the count goes full at 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes, no outs here as we're starting the bottom of the 7th inning. Springfield with a full count. Brett inside the circle. 3-2 pitch coming. Springfield pops this one up. Right fielder's going to come in and squeeze it for the putout. Thought there for a second it might have been in no man's land, but it did hang up a little bit longer than ICC fans had hoped. A good job out there in right field by Wells to come in and squeeze it for the putout. And now up is going to be Hannah Williams. Williams is 1 for 2 on the day. She did walk, reached on an error, scored on a pass ball. She does have a single to her credit, but she was put out on a fielder's choice. That was back in the 3rd. Boy, 2 wild pitches, allowing runs to score, looming large here from the Indians late in the evening. That pitch in the dirt, nobody on base to do any damage there. Nice job, though, by Richards. Hey, if any of your family is listening, she has done an outstanding job today behind the plate for the Bears. 1-0 is the count here. Williams takes that pitch. Missing low and inside, 2-0 now is the count. Right now, if you're ICC, as I said, you just need somebody on the bases. Spark this rally here in the bottom of the 7th. You trail by 1 to the number 2 team in the country. That pitch right down Broadway for a strike. 2-1 now is the count here to Hannah Williams. Olivia Burns is on deck. She has re-entered to pitch here. So she'll have a chance to help her own cause here in the bottom of the 7th. This pitch fouled straight back. 2-2 now is the count. Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, and nobody on here for the Indians in the bottom of the 7th. Oh, my goodness. That's a tough pitch to take there if you're Hannah Williams. The umpire says it was a little outside for his liking. A break for the Indians. 3-2 now is the count here on Hannah Williams. 3-2 offering coming. And there's ball 4. Woo! Flirting with disaster there as she took a look at that low pitch. And now the tying run is on the plate for the Indians. And this is going to bring up Olivia Burns. So the runner at first. Looks like we're going to have a new runner come in this situation for the Indians. And this is going to be Haley Reed. Boots will come in to run in place of Hannah Williams. We get a lot of speed on the bases right now with Haley Reed. So Reed checks in. And this is going to be Olivia Burns at the plate, as we said. She could help herself out here. She started the game, re-entered. Could battle back here with a base hit, force it into a tie, and have a chance to pick up the win. So a runner at first for the Indians. There's one out. That's Boots Reed over at first. Swung on and missed. 4-strike-1 by Olivia Burns. Defense playing Burns straight away here. Third baseman creeping in a little. Burns takes a look at that one across for strike 2. Good looking pitch that time out of the hand of Groet. And now 0-2 is the count here to Burns. This is a growing experience here for Burns, a freshman in a clutch situation for the Indians. That pitch low, snap throw back to first, not in time. Time taken by the Indians. 1-2 is the count. That pitch missing low for a ball. Madison Carnes on deck for the Indians. That pitch high, Boots goes, throw down is not in time, so it gets away, and Haley's going to stay at second. A big-time stolen base there for Haley Reed, and we'll take a look back at that on the Little Caesars replay as now the tying run moves into scoring position here for the Indians. And now the infield umpire is going to come up and talk to the home plate umpire. So it's an obstruction on the first baseman. Still a stolen base, though, for Haley Reed. So now the Indians with the tying run in scoring position. 1-2 is the count here to Olivia Burns. Boy, a base hit here from Burns could make things interesting. Groet inside the circle, sitting on the 1-2 offer. And swung on and missed. A big-time Renaissance Bank strikeout there by Alexis Groet. And there's 2 outs now in the inning. And here comes sophomore Madison Carnes. So Carnes will re-enter here with 2 outs and a tying run at second. Is there some late-game heroics in store for the Indians? Boots at second. Carnes at the plate. Swings on the first pitch, misses for strike 1. If she can get on base, it'll be Corey Childs up next for the Indians. 0-1 is the count. Fastball missing high, 1-1 now is the count here to Carnes. Tying run at second for the Indians. High drama here in the bottom of the 7th. And an instant classic afternoon here between ICC and Des Moines, Iowa. Awaiting the 1-1 pitch. Carnes fouls this one back out of play. And now the count goes 1-2. So 1-2 is the count here on Madison Carnes. Pitch coming. Carnes looks at that pitch, borderline pitch, missing low. 2-2 now is the count here to the sophomore out of North Pontotoc High School. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Tying run on second here in the bottom of the 7th. ICC trailing at 8-7. Carnes takes a look at that pitch. Missing outside, 3-2 now is the count. Full count here. If Carnes reaches, we go to Corey Childs, the leadoff batter for the Indians. 3-2 pitch coming. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. And the Bears win an epic battle here in Fulton. Back-to-back Renaissance Bank strikeouts by Groet to get the win. What a ball game, ladies and gentlemen. As the number 2 team in the country and the number 11 team in the country come through and give us some big-time
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for
softball
coming out and have
action
a safe trip
this
home.
evening. We're going to step away and come back with the Renaissance Bank post-game report right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
Ever since you got that license, you haven't stopped moving forward. Now that you're older and on the move, you need a safer place to keep your money. We get it. A student checking account frees you up with things like mobile check deposit to take care of that check from grandma without having to stop at a bank. Pay with your phone when you're out with friends. And stop worrying about ATM fees. We'll pay you back for those. Worry about your future, not your money. And know that we'll stick with you, wherever you go. Renaissance Bank, understanding you. Member FDIC.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being presented by the ICC Alumni Association, the Bank of Okolona, the ICC BSU, Choice Pond with locations in Tupelo and Fulton, Buddy Long and the Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, Food Giant, the ICC Foundation, your Etowah County Farm Bureau agent Joey Cox, Little Caesars, Renaissance Bank, Sonic, and the ICC Wesley Foundation.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as Des Moines, Iowa finds a way to win it 8-7 in Game 2 to complete the sweep of ICC. Indians dropped the first game of the day by the final score of 2-1. Let's take a look at some Sonic stats being provided by you here from the Sonic in Fulton. And your final line on the evening for Des Moines, Iowa. They score 8 runs on 10 hits, 3 errors. The Indians 7 runs on 8 hits, 1 error. Let's look at individual performances tonight, and let's start with the Bears as they improve to 9-0 on the year. ICC falls to 17-5. Avery Guy, she went 1 for 4 with a walk. She also reached on an error, stole a base, scored a run. Maya Ruther, she was 2 for 5 with a triple, a double. She scored 2 runs, one of them scoring on a wild pitch. Then you had Bree Hunter. She was 1 for 2 with a pair of walks. She has an RBI to her credit. Morgan Neely, she was 1 for 4 in the afternoon. She did have an RBI. Bailey Richardson was 2 for 3 with a walk. She had 2 RBIs. Keisha Wells was 0 for 4 with a strikeout. Gabby Schnatters was 0 for 1 with a walk. And then it was number 8 that came into bat in place of her. That was Groet. She was 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Taylor Briley, she was 1 for 4 with a home run. Obviously an RBI and a run scored there. She did score a run on a wild pitch. And then Kelsey Hora, the number 9 batter, she was 2 for 3 with a pair of singles, 3 runs scored, and a stolen base. She also walked in the contest. For ICC, Corey Childs was 1 for 3 with a single, stolen base, and a run, 2 runs scored, 2 stolen bases, as she was hit by a pitch as well. Meg Sullivan was 1 for 3 with 2 runs scored. She had a home run and a walk. Samantha Conley was 1 for 3. She reached on an error. She had a sacrifice bunt that turned into an RBI. She also had a single. Mackenzie Piper on the afternoon was 1 of 4. She had a single and a strikeout. Macy Cox was 0 for 4 with a strikeout. Bailey Springfield, our Sonic star of the game here in Game 2. She was 2 for 4 with a home run and a single. She scored 2 runs, drove in another. She scored on an error. Hannah Williams was 1 for 2. She reached every time she was at the plate. She reached once on an error, scored on a pass ball. She had a single and 2 walks. Olivia Burns was 1 for 2. She had a sacrifice bunt and a walk. She did not score. And then Madison Carnes was 0 for 2 on the day with a strikeout. And it was Shelby Newsom 0 for 2 on the day as well. So to figure out, it was Cox who gets the loss. She's 0-1 on the year. And then it was Groet who got the win for Des Moines area as she improves to 2-0 on the year as well. So that's going to do it. Remind you, our next broadcast is going to come your way tomorrow here on the Red Channel as we travel with baseball up to Southwest Tennessee and Millington, Tennessee at the USA Stadium. It'll be a doubleheader there, non-conference play. ICC baseball scheduled to enter conference play on Saturday. Weather pending on that one. Your next softball game for the Indians, it'll be Sunday unless that game is pushed up to Saturday due to weather concerns. You want to be sure and follow us on Twitter for more information on that. So that's going to do it for tonight's broadcast of ICC Athletics here on Let'sGoICCTV.com. For Raphael Henry, Lee Adams, I'm Adam Gore. We'll see you next time as ICC falls to the number 2 team in the country in 2 heartbreaking fashion. 2-1 in the game 1 and 8-7 in game 2 here from Fulton. We'll see you next time, folks. Have a blessed evening, and as always, Roll Tribe.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being presented by the ICC Alumni Association, the Bank of Okolona, the ICC BSU, Choice Pond with locations in Tupelo and Fulton, Buddy Long and the Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, Food Giant, the ICC Foundation, your Etowah County Farm Bureau agent Joey Cox, Little Caesars, Renaissance Bank, Sonic, and the ICC Wesley Foundation.
When I think of potential, I think of a matchstick. When a matchstick reaches its potential, it releases a flame that ignites everything around it. 2018 brings new potential for you and your life at Itawamba Community College, where you are each empowered to do great things. You can be better, accomplish more, and live a life that is above the bar. Your potential is here.